Up, recording.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. Last time on Hero Campaign, the party was elected by the magistrate to take the girl who was suspected to be a hag, Clara, away from the town and move her to the city and where they could see about curing her for her sickness. After some shenanigans in town, along the way, we encountered the young boy of Mr. Zago named William. It seems William decided to leave out of his own free will, steal a horse, and drive through the middle of the woods in the middle of the night. The fact that he survived, well, is a miracle, I tell you what. We brought William and Clara to the local town. We showed the notes from the magistrate, and then Susan, the head priest, was able to conduct a ritual to help Clara beat her hagness that was about to consume her. Using the love and prayers of Mint and William, it seems that Clara was able to survive. What we do now, we may need to we're planning on contacting the local town and informing the town that we left and informing that William did not, in fact, get eaten by wolves, and see what we can do about the Zagos, William, and Clara while we're in town, and then see where our adventure next leads us. Back to you, Mr. DM.
Okay. So, we will pick off exactly where we left off, where you guys had just finished the ceremony and had decided that you would be spending the night in the temple to recuperate. So I would say at this point it's becoming about late evening as you guys gather about the temples. You see all the various clerics wandering about, and as I mentioned before, many children as well. You guys are allowed, of course, to wander the halls of the temple as you will. And if you have any questions, High Priestess Susan has said she would be more than happy to answer any questions you may have, or you may, of course, go to any of the other people to ask in any area. If you wish to, the library is also free for you to peruse.
Yeah, I've got a question. What's downstairs?
Oh, you want to? Do you ask that of Susan, or are you asking the DM? Because
No, I'm asking Susan. Hey, Susan, what's downstairs there? Look at those stairs.
Oh, that would be the basement chambers of the church here. Various things are down there.
What kind of things? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I suppose you are welcome to know. Various artifacts of the like of the gods are down there, and well as some of our storage halls.
Okay. That was all, thanks.
You're quite welcome, Sir Elf. Get your head out of the gutter, Ares.
It's about that age, you know.
Yeah.
It's the Hornyback Club 1d4 bludgeoning damage plus 1 psychic.
You've been is there any other questions any of you may have of me while we are here?
Yeah, no, she said that the process seemed to have worked. Quincy was thinking about trying to see what we would do with Clara, because I'm sorry to say, but she could not go back to her hometown. Her family's kind of dead. So, would she be staying at the church? And also, he was thinking of maybe talking to the magistrate here to see if we could relocate the Zagos to be closer to town, so William and Clara can hang out.
The magistrate here is the same magistrate you just visited. Remember, the magistrate from here came there. Like, little towns don't have magistrates. That's why they have to call them in.
And so that would also get the, because even though, even if everything goes back to normal and we get William back there, the town, his reputation in this town, was already bad. It's gonna be screwed forever now. That fucking asshole Elbrand kind of tanked his goddamn entire shtick there. Because it was casual racism, but Elbrand's he was totally hanging out with those hags the entire time. And that's never gonna shake off, no matter how many times they're like, no, that didn't happen, you dumb hicks.
Okay, so Quincy asks what exactly? Because you got a lot of going on there.
It's basically, Is there any way for me to contact the magistrate and have a small conversation, or do I have to write
You've
back?
already contacted the magistrate at the end of the last session. You had Susan use sending to give her the base rundown quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll wait for a reply back. This is something we can take care of in the morning, that sort of thing. Then with my time, I'll head to the library and do some book learning about different cases just for fun. Like, there's always that town that has that, like, weird law where it's just like, hey, cows aren't allowed on the second floor of houses.
You have to wear white. There's no wearing white after Labor Day sort of thing. Gotcha.
Yeah. Just obscure, fun, crazy stuff. By the way, that cow rule, actual fucking thing in one town in the fucking Midwest. No lie.
I fucking believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people want to keep cows on the second floor.
There's a law that's like, I forget what state it was, but there's a law where like horses aren't allowed to chew on fire hydrants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
It's like,
makes
common
sense.
sense shit they had to outlaw.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like things that are supposed to be common sense by people and did anyway. So like, let's make a rule about it anyway.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like don't use your toaster in bathtub.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't milk a goat in a tub is one of them too.
In any case, apart from the absurdity, gotcha. Anybody else have anything they would like to do for the evening?
Go to the
Any
library.
And
books
I thought one.
on the board so you can
hold
get
up,
in-game knowledge.
One
of
at
it.
a time. Jordan, what do you want to do?
Go to the library, research about essentially the recent war against the Horde.
You would probably know the library won't have like recent. Like you're looking for news. There are places you can get news. Libraries are more for like history and artifact knowledge. Like you're not gonna get recent knowledge in the library most likely. But there
Fair
are
enough,
the
I'll
town
go-
criers and the notice boards and stuff. That's what you'd be looking for.
Yep, I'll go look for that then.
Okay, Ares. Anything Mint wants to do?
Then we'll go take a bath first, and then immediately join the kitchen. Gonna be able to cook
Okay, you
in
want
a
to
nice way.
move into the kitchen. Okay, there's plenty of. I see you already moved your character into the baths. That was fast.
Yes.
Okay. Eric, you already told me what you want to do. Diotar.
Well,
What's Tatsu
since-
doing?
I don't know. Everybody's going to the library. I'm gonna go to the library as well. See if there are any cool books about any cool weapons or anything.
Well, there's other people who are in the library, and they may pose a threat to your lord.
He's
It's
not
time
going
to
to.
interrogate.
You see, the Lord's not going to the library. He has to go out into the city.
Oh.
Oh wait, my lord is going to the city? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow him then.
Okay. Because he has to go. Because, like I said, you're not going to find that information in the library. You'd have to go to the notice boards and town criers, like I said. Which brings us to you, Vex. What is Nikolai up to?
Yeah, he actually had a question for Susan because he did notice during the ceremony that there were quite a lot of gemstones that were used, and those must have not been easy to get. So he's kind of curious about where those came from.
Okay, so you ask Susan where the gemstones came from? Okay,
Yes.
Susan looks over to goes like, oh, well, most of them came from the dwarven mines to the north. Actually, the creator of the spell that was used to remove the hag corruption upon the young girl was actually developed by a dwarf.
Interesting.
Yes, in fact, he was a very good man. His name is Dulin Sheen Metal. Yeah,
See.
very, very good man. In fact, he was responsible for removing said thing upon me as well as a child. But
Right.
the gems were donated by him and his family. He comes from a rather wealthy dwarven mining family originally.
If they were donated, that makes a bit more sense.
Of course. Is there any other questions you had, Sir Gnome?
No, that's the only thing that stuck out as odd.
No, of course. Well, I'm glad to have answered your question for you. If you have anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. With that, is there anything else Nikolai wants to do for the evening, or is he just going to go, like, relax in a room till dinner times?
I'd say that's about it.
Okay. Erofudar and Neati will, you know what? There's no way Erofudar probably wouldn't join Mint for a bath. So for canon purposes. So let's start at the top of the list as we do our, as we split the party for a bit of one of the RPs with the party being split. So I guess we start with you, Ares. If you want to do any RP, if you just want to skip over, say so.
Mint will just have a conversation with Eru, like seeing like how she's been, what she's been doing lately.
It's been amazing, Mint. I have been traveling the world, battling the evil, and fighting villains, just like my grandpapa.
It seems we both want to be like someone that we consider, like, or well, you know, family, father figure, kind of.
Inspirational family member.
I was also wondering, have you seen my father ever since we left?
She kind of scrunches her eye. By the way, as you hear Eru say those words of great adventures and saving, you roll me a perception check, Mint.
Okay. Perception.
So just on the other side of the door, you hear Nati's voice go, he has great adventures, such as beating up farmers who we thought were bandits, and just like mumbling of all
Having
the
multitudes
misadventures.
of people being killed.
Yeah, it's just like all the horrible things. Like, basically, Erofudar has proven to be her grandfather's child and has just, like, totally mucked up more things than she could ever hope. Or the time we burnt down the windmill trying to get rid of the rats.
Almost beat up a family pet because they thought it was a wolf.
Yeah. Beat up the family dog, mistaking it for a hellhound at night, but it just had a cough. Like, you just hear Eru, or you just hear Nati kind of mumbling to herself through the door.
Beat the pumpkin lord, but it was a guy who got his head stuck in a pumpkin.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, exactly. I found the legendary sword, but in fact it was just a rusted blade that was buried under a rock. Right there. But Eru is like tears. He goes, "Oh, that is amazing. Well, yes, no, I am sorry, man, but I have not seen your papa. But if I do see him, is there anything you want me to tell him?"
Tell him that he needs to come home before I thank him first.
I will do so, Mint. It is important for him to see you and your mother. How is she, by the way?
She's good, a bit sick, but she's been doing pretty okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear she has been sick, but I'm glad to know she is at least okay. If there's anything you need, of course, Mint, you just have to ask.
I know, and thank you for everything, but, you know, since you're like an amazing animal, do you want a minstrel with you and like a bard to sing like your great stories and tales?
She raises an eyebrow. Oh? Are you offering Mint?
Well, if you come join us, then yeah. I mean, we're trying to save the world after all. You can come join us.
At this point, I just see fucking Eric going, no!
Somewhere in the world, there's a snow ghost going, fuck!
Yeah.
He will show up.
A flu.
Mint will realize that her friends cannot live when he shows up.
No. It's my future to face the ugly orc. It's the lady predicted that, okay?
Oh god, it's kill the Fudar, kill the elf.
Yes.
As you say that, Eru kind of thinks to herself, he's like, that is a very interesting offer, Mint. I would have to think on it and let you know.
Well, we were kind of prophesized to save, the world and stuff, so it's a pretty
Prophesized?
lucrative thing.
By
Yeah,
who?
there was this like cool fortune teller, like her name was like Z-Leaf or something, and she predicted things. Like she knows things, and like she predicted that we were gonna save the world or end it. So I mean, if you come along, I'm sure we could help it.
So, man, because you had that 22 perception chat earlier, you hear another voice from another voice coming once again as Nancy's going, "Oh God knows, no, by the gods, no." Not again, not again. Well, that is amazing. I definitely will have to see about doing this. This could be the adventure of the lifetime.
Friends tapping along a famous knight and an amazing bard who can cook. It'd be the tale bigger than your grandfather's.
That is amazing. I may have to take you up on this. For the sake of just giving you a chance, I wasn't expecting you to recruit her permanently, but roll me a persuasion.
I gotta hope.
Oh yeah, you misclicked on the first one. Feels bad, my guy.
Do I get advantage because I'm technically your best friend?
Don't you have an inspiration?
No, Eric does.
No, only Eric gets those.
I thought Aries recap previously, but I could be wrong. Sure, I'll give you one more attempt at it.
I want to get her.
Curse. 19's not bad.
Oh yeah, she kind of looks at you. It does sound tempting. Me, I will let you know in the morning. How about? I need to sleep on it and discuss it with Nettie.
In other words, it's all up to Nady.
And Nate is gonna say no.
If only to
Nod.
avoid
And
Tetsu.
Nady's role is going to be worse.
Now I need to talk to Nate later.
Yeah, you'll have to try to convince Naiti. I mean, already Naiti has looked at Tetsu and went, I want none of that.
You'd have to convince Nady and Tetsu eventually.
Well, Tetsu's my servant. I can just tell him to agree with it.
Nah, I've been shown the light. I will no longer serve. I'm a free man.
You are a master of samurai? Disgraceful.
In any case, as you and Eru continue your baths, you finish up and eventually make your way towards the kitchen. And as we will jump over to Jordan and Diotar's characters, as they are now searching the town. So, as you two start wandering through the city streets, looking about, you see the city is huge. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are on the streets moving about even in this late evening. Oh. Sorry? Oh, never mind. And as you're kind of going about, you may both roll me an investigation to see if you can find, like, the local news or town crier.
This is gonna go great for me.
Same.
So, investigation, right?
Yes.
Here we go.
Starting off strong. How does your free man powers feel, Dio?
So,
How does your free man powers feel?
Tetsu!
Hey, that's one more than my passive investigation.
Tetsu, as you go start talking to people about where to go and find things, you just go up and start talking to this random dwarf you find, and he just looks at you, and after about 10 minutes of talking to him, you realize he actually doesn't speak common, as he just starts muttering and walks away from you as he had no idea what you were saying.
Goddamn dwarves, learn the language. Jesus.
Meanwhile, Tetsu, you being a man of cities and your elderly age, knew that, yeah, generally town criers in notice boards are found in certain areas, so you're able to navigate towards it where you kind of find the local notice board. And also at the same time, you find, like, the local town criers talking. As you do so, the local town crier is actually, it goes, war fronts have gotten bad! Need recruits to join the war for soldiers. Fight for your nations. Fight for your children and your people. Men and women of all ages needed to defend the front. Warriors, healers, medicines and all needed. Prepare for the war. The Horde shall be here soon.
The janitorial staff needed.
Someone's got to clean up the bodies after the battle. As you kind of look about, you see the crier, as you also see that there's like a local news bulletin board in the center of town to look over. I'm assuming you read it?
Yep.
Basically what you're reading is the war in the with the Horde has been going, if not poorly, then perhaps best to say is in a bit of dire straits, it seems. Stallion has been using its magical might to hold the Horde back as much as it can, but for some reason it looks like the Orcish hordes have gotten a hold of their own powerful magic thanks to the Drow wizards and sorcerers, and it's become kind of a magical stalemate between the two nations, and Haladon is right now under massive what's the word I'm looking for? Massive strifes and fears that they might soon break through the Haladon lines and start ravaging the countryside. You also notice with your investigation as you guys walk past that food prices seem to have been skyrocketing in the city. They seem to be much higher. Well, I guess actually you wouldn't know. You've been fucking locked up with Mother Midnight for the past decade. But in your case, Tetsu, actually, you know what, Tetsu, just roll me a straight intelligence check.
I was locked up with
Mint, I know. I'm about to say
Mint.
you might. Okay, you got it. You got enough. You, Mint, Tetsu, notice that the food prices are really high. I mean, you're not used to buying the food because, you know, Mint would go make you find like a basilisk and tell you to go in there and get eggs before you run for your life, sort of thing. But you got used to the idea that the food prices seem very high, especially foods that are like jarred and non-perishable. Seem to have skyrocketed lately. And the news of Haladon being invaded seems to make people worry that food supplies in the kingdoms might become short, since Haladon is kind of the breadbasket of the world.
Oh, shit.
Basket.
Oh, I'm just gonna casually mention it in passing, like, geez, the food prices have gone up.
Have they?
Yeah, they never used to be this big. Like, holy moly.
Oh, that is news.
The economy must be going to shit.
See, now this is why I kind of actually wanted to go to the library. Like, I'm not looking for like recent events. I'm looking for how this mess started. As in, like, give or take, like 10 years ago, what happened, like prior to town being fucked.
Oh, well, fair enough. You can go look at that too in the library after. I mean, that's not a very hard thing to get a hold of.
Yep.
But
Essentially, that's us done.
Yeah, that was just doing like this is what you're doing before dinner. You guys will have an after dinner if there's anything else. You can do your after dinner readings. Okay, that's you guys. Then I guess
I'm gonna be right back.
No shit, Baka, what is your character doing? I skipped you by accident.
Yes, I had the same plan as Jordan, so I'll just do what he wants to do.
Fair enough. So you were also wandering around.
Nah, I'll be reading.
Oh, you were looking at the books for the library for the how the war started?
Yes, more or less.
Okay, easy enough. So, I guess for that, you are also in there. You get your books going, but before we get to you, we will get to... what were you wanting to research again exactly, Eric? You said laws?
Funny laws.
Yeah, laws for the area, and also, you know, notice the other people who are in the library and see if I can get anything off of them. my thought process is I would find a lot, and about 80% of them were made by the Fudar clan.
Yeah. So you look over some of the laws that have been kind of, you're looking for the obscure, odd laws in the area. One obscure law you find is no lances are allowed near windmills anymore.
Okay.
As well as there seems to be a new law was also instigated on fire bans. This is apparently a new thing that was invented, as there was almost a massive forest fire caused by accident some years ago.
Huh. Neat.
As far as other kind of weird, odd laws, you don't find anything too obscure or odd. Although you do notice, though, that there seems to be lots of laws and protections against anyone being, these aren't exactly unknown laws, like they're fairly common, but you seem to be, there's an emphasis on like anti-liching laws, aka you're not allowed to kill someone just because they were something bad to begin with. You have a feeling that used to be a big problem in this city at some point. Given what they do here, you could probably guess why. Apart from that, though, you do notice that there is an elf librarian woman kind of sitting there who seems to be teaching a pair of children how to read, actually, is what you're gathering. As you see a tiefling and a tabaxi child kind of looking over the books.
Get Tetsu over here.
For the sake of, I'm sure Ares would like to see the kids.
They're so cute.
And then there's this guy. And I know Ares will want to see what the elf looks like.
Oh, I like her.
But
Pretty.
yes, you see the three of them, her kind of teaching the children and reading and writing. You gather that she seems to be doing this. You gather by the patience on her face, she's gotten quite used to teaching children. Again, you see many, many children in this church. Many children.
Right.
You've seen like dozens of them.
Yeah, okay. I'll leave them to it just because, you know, they're studying. And if I was going for a case and I had like someone go, so what's going on with you guys? You know, I would be like, get the fuck out of here. Right?
Yep. Okay, in your case, Esmond, you're looking at how the recent war began 10 years ago.
Yep.
So you're looking at trying to look at how the Horde began 10 years, and apparently no one knows for certain what occurred. But 10 years ago, Fort Greystone had been destroyed due to some strange surprise attack that no one was aware of. Apparently, millions of orcs and goblins, ogres, and other such creatures poured out of Blood Valley once the fort fell, and to start like a black wave covered across the country of Marquisa. Within a year, the entire country of Marquisa fell, and it only reason the rest of the world wasn't bad is that year it took Marquisa to fall, the rest of the nations were able to gather their forces and march towards the border to try to hold them back. But it's been it seems to be at this point a losing battle as more and more soldiers are killed with each and every war. Or Green Tide. Thank you, Tetsu.
You're welcome.
Truly the philosopher of our time.
Yes. As you, more and more soldiers are sent towards the pushback. It seems bad. They figured that the war would have been already over and they would have been able to push them into Blood Valley, but an unexpected alliance that no one ever thought would happen when the Durgar and the Drow apparently have united underneath the Horde, giving them a boost no one would ever have expected. Giving them not only magical but technological might that never had been existed before the previous Horde attack.
We did too good
God,
of a
we
job.
did such a good job.
Yeah.
You just want to read this so you guys can know your fucking brag rights.
Also, so I can in character say I at least know something about the horde other than what the fuck's
God.
a goblin?
There has been many nations. You do notice that there seems to be elite generals in the horde. And your own readings, you've seen some of them. You read this one thing about some horrific goblin undead spider monstrosity that has been known to just running around battlefields, crawling crying his battle cry. They've nicknamed. No one knows his true name, but the soldiers for some reason call him the Baconator.
The Baconator.
I thought you'd like that.
Oh, I love it.
Uh,
This kingdom of McDonald's.
Apart from that, you read about how there's also seems to be a fallen dark angel amongst the thing with skeletal wings, causing fear amongst the enemies as he massacres people, enemies around him. You hear about
Just a thing, massacres
maybe
people above
Uncle.
the age of 18, because anything below the age of 18 he can't hit.
You hear of a legendary orc archer who apparently has been known to assassinate high-ranking generals in the Alliance's ranks before disappearing into the night. They also hear about this really crazy-ass skeletal robot thing that just squeaks and bulks as it walks about and then turns into strange mechanical monsters as it pounces and destroys people.
I think Dio's character is less of a general and more of a force of nature they just put on the like it's
Yeah.
the Evasaur assassin.
It's not really
It's
I
just
am
like kill
Different,
everything
the
in that area.
Baconator's the Baconator's the middle ground between those two things.
Yeah.
I am a Transformers character.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Megatron's crazy.
You're a Transformers character gone insane.
So he's Galvatron in the later seasons. Basically, and you also read of the grand leader of the orcs, this powerful being that just literally can walk through a city and people die all around him. Weapons seem to be almost useless against him as he can strike down entire legions of soldiers. Like there was one legend that a storm giant came to face him and tried to stop him in the battle in one war, and he single-handedly took the storm giant and struck him down.
Bullshit. It was a celestial.
Just 1 second. Did he face a storm giant and then take another storm giant to take down the first storm giant?
No, he did not use a second storm giant like a club.
That's what I heard.
Mint, you're not reading smut. You can shush.
But I love him. The second I saw him at first sight.
Yeah, what happened to Brugo?
I will not settle less. I will not settle for less. Okay.
You also read that the second in command of the Horde actually is this war chief orc named Brugo. He has been known to gun down and crush entire armies, and there seems to be a powerful goblin necromancer as well that has been known to rise legions of undead.
Remember when I called him Dad?
You guys find that this seems to be... Apart from that, there are also many various mentions of other monsters. The rising increase of hags across the nation seems to be causing fear, and there has been some reports of areas near the border of children just disappearing. Mysteriously vanishing in the night with no trace.
What a tragedy that is.
And of course, there's also been known of the great dragon that travels with the Horde that spits corrosive acid upon the soldiers below, having them melt on the spot. Most people saying that this is looking poor. If it wasn't for the Alliance, already they would be far further in than they are, and people are just worried that it's only a matter of time before they burst through Stallion and start invading the rest of the western or eastern countries. And if Haldelian falls, people are terrified that Nomasha and Norselin will easily fall next. Even the Golden Woods have begun to fear their preparations, getting their navies together to try to stop any sort of naval assaults that may occur.
My respect for the Horde has increased, my respect for the Alliance has decreased throughout this reading.
Barca's gonna join the Horde again.
Absolutely not.
jeez.
Failure for the win.
Azalea's gonna join the Horde again. Oh jeez.
At which
I
point,
mean-
both me and Baka joined the Horde.
We
Yeah.
execute Order 66 and be done with it.
That is another factor, is there is mention of Asalia in the wars, and so far Asalia has remained mostly neutral in the war, though there has been Asalian soldiers who have seemed to be volunteering to help the Alliance.
Can't wait till the subplot where the leader of the Horde goes to Asalia and says, "Hey, my father was basically almost was one of the contesting lines to become shogun. I want it." And then there's a political drama.
It's a shame that it almost works.
It's a shame just the way that the way that Jordan set it up. He now knows of this fact too. Is the worst part.
Yeah,
He would've been
and it was
unaware of
reported
until
back
then.
by Esmond.
Yeah.
I know it. He knows it. We all know it. We're all just waiting for it.
As the new half-orc Lord Shogun shows up to destroy, conquer all.
Hey, if you can unite Asalia, then hey, we're willing to kill the party.
I mean, Asalia is united. It still has the Emperor kind of style. I mean, it's like feudal Japan. There's an Emperor, there's just a Shogun. There's just the Shogunate as well.
If it's like feudal Japan, the Emperor's the Shogun's bitch.
Depends what area you're looking at.
It's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. Depends how
Or back and
powerful
forth.
the Shogun is. They gotta go back and forth who's on top. Jesus, Ares. Come on. Stop falling in love with all my villains.
I feel like at this point, I'm just like Mint
Yes,
just snuck
please.
into the library. I'm explaining this, and this is the
Good
commentary
night.
I'm receiving.
He can conquer. The Mitt's looking over your shoulder, saw a picture of him. He can conquer me.
The lady covers the children's ears.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a reason why I'm as far away from them as it gets.
Esmond's just like, how can you see? This isn't a picture book. They didn't even fucking get a documentary about him.
No, I saw him.
Yeah, technically you all saw him, remember?
No, I know.
I could add a picture if I really wanted to. I'm proficient with painter's tools.
And she fell in love at first sight the second she saw him.
Yep,
Oh,
nothing like a
God.
man who murders women and children as he passes by.
Man, the leader of the Horde committed his worst act upon attacking that town. He groomed Mint. Jesus.
God.
He didn't have to do anything.
Not too long ago, you were
there.
talking about, hey, we're destined to save the world. He can conquer me.
We need to make a horny bat. Where's the magic item shop?
I already got the horny bat prepared.
Okay.
Or you punk.
If there is one adversary that men can't beat, it's him. She's willing to go as far as she needs to, but no, they can't do anything against that.
But what if he's into being beat? What if that's his kink, Mint?
Well, I guess Min just has to grow up then. Yeah, she would be okay with that. She doesn't know.
Oh god.
I'm sorry. I just fell in love.
I didn't care about him. I didn't like him. And then I saw him.
Look, all Heath has to do is find other hot boys and then find one that Mint will settle for before the final boss. We've got time.
We can visit Asalia. We got the anime.
We've got time.
You gotta try. You gotta try to set up with someone better.
This
Yeah.
is the Star Wars meme. You will try.
I mean, it wasn't like I tried the first time. It was just a random picture I had.
So just
I
keep
know.
trying. Just keep playing yourself, Heath. Keep doing it. Oh, Heath, if she got attracted to him off of a picture, there's somebody else. It's fine.
I just got to run through enough
Somebody out
characters.
there.
There might be someone that might. I do have other characters in mind. We'll see what happens.
Time for a meat grinder campaign again.
Meat
You
beater.
just,
Well,
you just
apparently-
gotta hope you
well-
get attached to someone else.
The conclusion I got out of this is Esmond read an informative smut to Mint.
In
A
any case,
non-fiction smut.
is there any other specific information you want about the origins of the war, or is that all you were looking for?
That's all I really needed.
Okay. We already have finished with Nikolai, so with that, after a couple hours pass, you guys all meet up in the dining room for dinner.
Was I allowed to cook?
Hmm?
Was I allowed to cook?
I mean, the cook isn't going to say no to you because he's already overworked. You can tell that the cook, he looks exhausted. He seems to be making a meal for a small army.
Oh, men will be more than happy.
And
to
the
join him.
children.
That is the small army.
No, I think that's
Not
Nikolai.
number in size. That's what they meant by small army.
I am more than willing
No,
to
I
help
still
him.
convinced Nikolai's the small army. The children are just extra.
The small army is the halfling army. It's
The
the
small
shorty
army is the
brigade.
orphanage of Azamar children that are going to be used to kill off half the horde.
The horde shall be beaten back by the Azamar children led by Mint.
By men.
Two of the horde's great generals can never penetrate their defense. Even together, they are no match.
The only foil to Mint is the BBEG himself.
So as you guys gather for yourselves for dinner time, you guys fill the dining hall. In it, you find that about a couple dozen children or more are there eating dinner and food. Just for the sake of it, Mint, you can roll me a cooking tools check to see how well you help.
Do I have advantage since I have someone technically helping me?
Sure, I'll give you advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, you make a good, serviceable meal.
Well, 10's average. I made above average. I made pretty good.
Yeah, you made a good meal. It's not your best
It's
work.
average for you.
It's average for you. You usually
For most of us here, it is pretty good.
yeah. Most the children love it. Most you made above average, but for you, you're like, your dad would be disappointed, and you know it.
I
I've
understand.
dishonored my family.
Yeah, you dishonored your family cooking.
Mhm.
If you ever watch Food Wars, it's kind of like when he makes that thing he's not quite happy with.
True, true.
There's
He
no
needs to
orgasm.
be
There's no
better.
orgasm naked scenes occurring.
I know. I must make the BBEG the best food
There,
ever.
there was
So-
one dash too much of salt.
But you see the children of the orphanage are just devouring it at like massive levels, though. They seem to be very happy with it. As you made as best you could with the subtle, with the simple foods you were supplied.
Yeah, I couldn't make anything like to my level, but that's fine.
Oh, Pete Grulma. Grulma. Surprised you guys didn't actually ask about the orc cooking habits for some reason when you were looking at the history.
That's a thing that will only interest Mint, really.
Fair. As you guys continue to eat your meal, you may converse with what you've discovered, or as you will.
Yeah, I'd share
Move you over there,
to
Nikolai,
my
just so you're with
fellow
everybody.
people that know absolutely nothing about the horde. Except for Mitotoshi's extensive knowledge of hags.
Well, why was he on the table for a second?
he okay?
Because he hasn't learned.
I am teleporting around. Don't ask questions.
He isn't properly trained for etiquette.
Wait, there's 6 of us? Huh.
Did you just realize we have 6 players?
For some reason, I thought we had 5.
Wow, fucking
What did you
asshole!
forget?
I wouldn't be
Who did you
surprised.
No, don't let Theo answer that
No.
question. It could be me.
It's not that I forgot anybody. It's literally just that I miscounted.
Oh, you can't count up past 5. It's 5 or lower.
Exactly. No,
I
I can't.
think the problem
Yes.
is, I bet you I know what it is. I bet you Dietar forgot to count himself.
No, I can't count past 3. Eric's just plain wrong with that one. It's 1, 2, 3 characters.
No,
1, 2,
what
3
happened is Theo
characters.
started with 0 and then continued from there.
Ah, yes, the programmer. So yeah, I counted from 0 to 5, and then I was confused.
We have 5 players. What are you on about? Well, you see 0, 1, 2, 3,
Zero's an
4, 5.
entity, Dio. You forgot. It's an object.
God damn it.
No, 0 is a thing that takes memory.
Yep, it's an object. Yeah. Well, if you declare it as one. Anyway,
Wait, what?
nothing.
The fuck are you talking about, Eric?
Well, nothing, aka 0.
No.
I see.
If you're making a numbered list as with C, right? In C+, and if you make a numbered list, it usually starts at 0, and 0 is a place that stores memory and can store a character.
Yeah.
I was misremembering it because you could make 0 an object that is a character, but in that case, it is just an allocation of memory.
What?
Programming.
Okay, we're
No,
off
I'm
topic,
confu-
guys.
you're
As fun as
confusing me.
programming is, let's continue with the game.
Programming is very fun, yes. Let's
We're
talk
gonna
about
beat
it
the
more.
horde with talking about
I mean, I
programming.
Exactly.
Alright.
We're gonna go look at the big bad evil guy and we're gonna say divide by 0. Ha.
I mean, that might work if he was a Warforged. That might
How
actually, come to think about
dare
it, that
you.
might work on frickin' your goblin skeletal robot.
Yes. Yes, that's the counter, but
Urnburn
nobody
is
knows
that's how you
it.
defeat Urnburn. Divide by 0 and his head explodes.
It's a self-destruct code.
Anyways, so as you guys are saying, yeah, Esmond tells you everything he learned about the Horde.
I shared the recent news about how fucking everyone is being slaughtered.
And I share the price increases because that is
I'm
interesting.
sure me and Mitsutoshi share the disappointment of this alliance that we had no faith in.
We do.
Did you folks know that spears can't be handled near windmills anymore?
Why?
It seems that there was one person who decided that
man,
attaching a spear to a
Quincy
windmill was a
Sawyer
smart idea,
Here.
and somehow they stabbed the kingdom of a cloud giant. That was very, very not good.
Well, actually, it was a lance, not a spear.
No,
Ah,
Quincy
yes.
Sawyer, I'm sure he knows what he's talking about.
No. Spears, lances, halberds, any sort of object on a stick.
Ah, yes, Halbert's the superior
on.
weapon.
How do I?
Yes, I know about that law. It is a bit of well known in the area.
Is Aru okay? It sounds like there was a dick in her face.
Well-
Yeah,
It sounded suspiciously like shade.
Well, man, let's not go on arrow for this. A lot of these laws were kind of contributed by the Fudar clan.
you mean responsible for the Fudar clan? Deity says haphazardly as she tucks into his salad.
Now, I believe that eventually one day these laws would have been put into place, but you guys just expedited the process by over 100,000 years.
You mean the fact that a man decided to charge a windmill with a lance, and then having the lance hit the windmill, then fly off and hit a local giant that happened to be wandering past?
Isn't that like a
Indeed.
popular tale or something written by that one guy?
Yes, a
Thanks.
tall tale. They just made it a reality.
Yeah. Fuck, I actually forgot what was the name of the story.
Do you mean in real life there, Diotar?
Yeah, the French guy.
Yeah, no, he's not French, he's Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish. Right.
And that's Don Quixote.
Yes,
Don
yes.
Quixote? Oh.
Yeah, Fudar is based off Don Quixote. Like literally,
Right.
that's the concept character.
I haven't been reading a lot of Don Quixote recently. I don't remember a lot of it.
That's the most famous scene. Is Don Quixote attacked a windmill thinking it was a giant.
Yep.
I love that scene of Don Quixote where a lady goes up to a guy's grave and I'm like, I didn't owe that fucker anything. That's the best part. He's like, he wanted me and then was a creep and I didn't like him. And so he shouldn't fucking write poetry about how I didn't date him. Fuck you, bye.
Not to
That's
mention
great.
the battle music for Conan Fudar was literally the Man of
Yeah,
La Mancha song.
yeah.
Like that's the song I use. The Man of La Mancha theme to for Conan Fudar. But in any case, as you see Nancy just kind of looking at it, it's like you'd be amazed how many other laws are set up from the Fudar family's escapades.
I've actually started a Rolodex for it, and it's almost full.
Yes. They're an interesting family. I've been serving them for almost, 3.5 centuries now.
Now, I don't mean to be rude when I ask this question, Eddie, but if you, I understand that you are not. You seem to be very not pleased with some of the antics Fudar's come up with. Not saying you don't overall dislike the service, but why is it that you've been serving so long?
She kind of looks over at her, who just seems to be mouth just full of food, like chewing with her mouth open, and she got like this giant piece of meat in her mouth that she's just chewing on.
Like, didn't even cut it; it's just biting
just,
into
like,
it with the
ripping
fork.
into it with a fork.
Yeah.
Yeah, like didn't even cut it into pieces. And she looks over at you, Quincy, goes, "It was a life debt, unfortunately. The original Fudar that saved my life many, many, many years ago, I swore my services to him and his family. And, well, you know us elves, we live a long time."
And has regretted it ever since.
I completely understand, and I do see why. I hope that eventually you and Mr. Fudar negotiated a certain end for that clause. Maybe if someone released you from service for all your hard work. But,
I am allowed to leave. It's not in slavery. It's more of a... Just looks over at Eru, who is still eating, and then just kind of, perhaps it's better to say different, in less obvious company.
No. I see what it is. You put a lot into a project, and so you want to see how it turns out eventually.
Something like that, I suppose, yes.
Yeah, time sink. Yeah, I get you.
The Jordan syndrome.
Have you considered that you are partially responsible for how the newest generations of Fudar are turning out?
I wish I could say that would be a fault, but in fact, I honestly believe if it wasn't for me, they'd be much worse.
I do see a drop off in Fudar law after the 300-year mark, so that does make sense. Now, is it a stop? No.
You can't.
But it has its own
Sometimes
rises
you
and
can't
falls.
stop the river. You can only rechannel it at best.
You're you're leading the horse away from all the lakes you can, but somehow the horse still puts its ass in it. You don't know why.
I don't know, it seems like you're sheltering them from the consequences of their actions up until an action that... up until they make a decision so poor that you can't shelter them from it. And then even more consequences just descend on them. And you being an elf, just move over to the child.
Looks over to you, he's like, I don't even know what you're getting at, sir. I don't exactly
Well?
shield them from the consequences.
I'll agree.
The fact is the Fudar family happens to be very wealthy. They have enough shielding without me. Usually many of the laws that have been implemented, well, there have been kind of, how should we say, minor punishments for them at worst, infractions and such, but the Fudar family tends to pay off their debts at least. And
I was
it
referring
seems-
to. I was referring to overall combat experience. It's.
Oh. Well, if you're expecting the adventuring thing, as she looks over at Eru, that seems to be a trait that seems to skip a generation. Eru's father and mother were quite docile business folk.
Interesting quirk of the local nobility.
It's a bit of an oddity. It seems half of the Fudar seem to be very talented and rather brilliant business folk, hence the Fudar fortunes. And then every generational skip, you tend to have at least one, like, Eru's grandfather. Eru's brother, in fact, is rather remarkable at the accounting business so far. You just see Fudar's face kind of scringe up and kind of annoyance at that.
Well, if that seems to be the problem, why not just remove the undesired elements?
I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying. Do you want to be a little more specific with that?
And maybe do it somewhere that isn't here. Particularly when I'm enjoying this great side sound. Good job, man. It is fantastic.
Mint is very happy to hear that.
Bomb defused.
2 seconds later, the bomb has been planted.
It's going to turn out to be a party combat if this keeps going.
Well,
Apparently,
Hey,
everyone from the fucking Japanese continent is just pissing off every elf they come.
It's just another arc in our anime where, for a time, we split and fight each other, and then we'll rejoin.
Yeah. This is all perfectly normal anime plots.
Well, I can kind of understand what's been going on, Métis. You know my father. You know that he's kind of like, well, her grandfather, and I'm sure I can help. Like, if you have her in our care, I'm sure we can take care of her, and I'll be the one especially here to help her. And we can go on adventures together and do amazing things.
I
don't need an
I think there's a dead ass pause. I think there's a dead ass pause when everyone kind of stares at Mint, and it's just like,
Everyone's like, wait, what?
hmm? What are you trying to say there? Hmm?
When was
They're
this
gonna-
decided by who?
They're
Yeah.
gonna have
And when
to
did you
start
tell the
calling
other
it-
5 of us?
They're gonna
When did you
have to
tell us
start
about this?
calling it the Mint and Fudar laws instead of just the Fudar laws.
The food mint law.
The Food Mint law.
so many food laws.
They're
are gonna be in
fundamentals.
place.
Yeah.
No, the Minty food law. There we go.
The food laws, yeah. Jesus. They look over. So you guys all look over at Mint. I'm curious. So Nikolai, what's your reaction to that statement?
He's definitely not keen on the idea.
As everybody just kind of looks deadpan at you, Mint, with this very like you're kidding face. What do you do?
Mint has a bright smile, and it seems like he's totally ignoring everyone's hesitation,
And is saying, yeah, I would love to have her by my side. We can go adventuring together. We can save the world together. Because we are
Everyone
best
cold
friends.
sweats at the same time.
Please, lady, please.
Now, Mint, I'm gonna be the one to break this news to you.
From way over there.
This may be an important lesson, but we already have a lot of chefs in the kitchen. Added more onto it. Besides, it seems that Mrs. Fudar and Nady had some other plans to attend to after this, and so us belaying them would be rude. Now, I'm not saying that we can't still contact them, and if we ever were in the same area, we couldn't adventure together. But as of right now, I don't think it would work out for both of our schedules.
Well, I'm asking them. So, I mean, it seems pretty great. We can go adventuring together. We can hang out and stuff. I mean, isn't that what Aru wants? I mean, I understand if you need time to think about it. I'm asking Nate as well to be kind enough to ask her as well. I'm not expecting an answer, like tomorrow maybe, or like whenever you feel comfortable with answering. But I'm being very kind and asking them and, making sure like we don't go out and like do it like last minute, Because it's better to
Okay, well, I'm stuffed. Hey, Nady, do you want to help me with taking the plates into the kitchen?
Yes, Mr. Quincy, I believe that would be the best option at the moment. Nancy and Quincy gather up plates and wander off into the kitchen by themselves. I'm assuming you want to one-on-one with Nancy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it.
So, Miss Softshade, I believe that letting this occur is probably not the best for either of our parties. Seeing as how I'm pretty sure if I did, I'd have to somehow figure out the legal precedent of a party killing each other with you shooting the hell out of both Mitsutoshi and Kawakami.
You're not wrong, Mr. Quincy. To be honest, I wouldn't exactly trust my mistress with the, the dullard and the old fogey.
What? Salient member!
I can't believe she just called me old. God damn it.
I love it. I've been announced, unspokenly announced in favor of
I do believe that this may be an important lesson for Mint in the fact that not everything works out the way she wants to. It seems that during her upgrading, literally everything has worked out. And so I believe that this would be a good, hey, I understand that you guys are friends and all, but again, getting reliant, doing whatever you want, and not having consideration with the rest of your party is not a lesson we should definitely put.
You're not wrong, Mr. Quincy. I'm surprised Mint didn't discuss this with you before making such an offer.
I believe that I did see them going off together in the bath. I believe Mint literally just side-blinded everyone with this.
Well, that she did. I was listening in on the said conversation, but I had at least assumed she might have mentioned it to the rest of you before offering such a thing.
I believe she didn't. Besides, I do believe that we will have rampant alcoholism with Esmond, a good amount of gunpowder with potentially Nikolai, Kawakami, and Mitsutoshi we've already described the problems with, and I'd be a lawyer with a Fudar. I don't believe our parties really complement each other as well as we say.
I feel like I've been spoken on as a bad name. I may be an alcoholic, but I have caused very little trouble.
No. It's not the fact that you're an alcoholic. It's the fact that there is alcohol in the general area of a Fudar. You know what I mean? Like, that's like storing our gunpowder next to our... That's studying our gunpowder next to our, like, torches that are lit.
Wouldn't a lawyer be something that the Fudars need, so you would be actually a great combo?
Yeah, but if she's in the party with me, I'm planning on representing you guys pro bono, and I really don't want to have to spend half the entire campaign representing the party.
You might, regardless if Eru Fudar is there or not at this point.
Yeah.
Eru Fudar is a guarantee of it.
Mitsutoshi and Tetsu are still here, and Esmond has a chance.
The rest of the party is a high likelihood. Eru Fudar is yes, that will be happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair. I agree with you, Mr. Quincy. My mistress probably needs a bit more training before she goes on such grandiose adventures anyways.
And was never heard from again.
Yes, I do believe so. It seems you guys are doing the general adventuring stick, and even though we seem to have been doing the same thing, exactly what specifically we'll be doing, or if we'll be adventuring out to go and kill monsters, or if we're going to be doing something else, I couldn't guarantee, and so I wouldn't want to handicap her growth.
In any case, I do appreciate the concern, Mr. Quincy. I wasn't exactly planning on letting Miss Eru and Miss Mint go off with each other. Those two were quite enough hellions as children together. I can only imagine what they're like as adults in the same room. And I use the term loosely.
Oh yes, they are demonic like me. So yes, I'm providing this united front. So when we have to shut this down, you know, you at least aren't the only voice in the room.
I had a feeling by everybody's expressions, they're the only voices in the room.
Yeah. Hey, pass me that ladle.
Oh, of course.
Alright, so as we're talking to you guys, talk to Min about what the fuck she just
Yeah,
said.
that's their thing. What are you five are talking about with Eru there? Anyways, mate, that sounds like a great idea. I believe Natty might be willing to let me join.
Just seems really happy at hearing that.
I'm sure it will be fine. What could go wrong?
So, Mitsutoshi, it appears that this whole country really is fucked from what I've read.
I would have to agree.
And we completely ignored that situation.
Yep.
Nicole, you
We
got
just-
anything?
We just have a sideline geopolitical conversation.
Well, okay, let me.
We'll let the chips fall where they may. If they get in our way, we'll cut it down.
Nicole, you got anything to say about this situation occurring?
He'd just kind of clear his throat, and then I must say it's a rather interesting plan, but I seem to have missed the part where you briefed everyone else.
That was right now, Nikolai.
Yeah.
You're astute, thank you, smartass.
Unless you weren't paying attention, you didn't miss it. You were right here.
Well, I was always told by my father that we should discuss things over food.
I suppose that's a fair point, but this is kind of a big deal. I mean, we're barely holding it together with just the 6 of us, and we're
What do you
bringing
mean?
2 other people.
We just saved someone. We were pretty cool. We go to do like like hags and stuff. We're pretty
Ignoring the 2 people that were all openly up for executing the person that we
Need
saved.
I remind you, both me and Esmond nearly died in the encounter with the ghouls.
cool. Well, if you
That
don't
was-
Esmond
Kawakami-
very nearly died. with
And
the hags.
Kawakami.
Mr. Nikolai, the only reason you died there, you almost died there, was because Fodar wasn't there. If she was there earlier, you would have been fine. You see, we were saved by the Fodar. So what you're saying actually supports the joining of our parties.
See, Tasha gets it.
Where's my fucking Sam Jackson voice clip? I don't remember asking you a damn thing.
This is just Diotar being the shit disturber he is.
Yeah, I am down for this level of chaos. Thank you very much.
I've contributed my round of chaos. I bid you adieu. I'll be back for the surprise round.
Oh god.
It's just throwing a bit of spice into the campaign, you know? That unexpected factor.
Eru looks over at Nicole. I say, "Indeed, I did help you with the ghouls when I showed up, as well as we did battle the hags in the beginning as well."
I suppose that's true. And I am grateful. Don't get me wrong. It's just that perhaps traveling in a bigger group than what we already have may draw even more unwanted attention than we have thus far.
Eru kind of looks over, goes, yeah, you know what, Nikolai? Roll a persuasion check. It's actually
Try to beat Mint.
It's even harder to keep a low profile when you have Fudar.
Yeah.
Would you say persuasion?
yeah, persuasion check.
All right.
Yeah. The thought actually comes across is actually pretty. You see Eru Fudar kind of give that some serious consideration. It's like, I suppose you may be right if you are trying to be more stealthy, but is that what your goal is?
Well, not all the time, but clearly your reputation has proven to precede you, and obviously walking around with a very famous person in our midst is not the type of impression we want to give off in the wrong place.
I see. You're saying that my notoriety would make it difficult for you to infiltrate certain areas?
Yes, and we certainly wouldn't want to draw the attention of anyone who isn't too fond of you.
Mitt, do you have anything to say to that? As you see Eru kind of rub her chin.
Mick would kind of cross her arms at that. Well, maybe it might be better to actually draw more people. We're trying to fight a war, possibly. We're trying to help. So maybe if we have someone as known as Aru, we can get more people on our side. Her grandfather was the one who kind of helped in the first place. I'm sure they've made a few problems, but they haven't met Aru. She's different. She's really nice. And she tries her best, and we're going to be here to support her. Well, I am, definitely. It's okay if you guys don't really want to do it. I understand, but I really think that this is a step forward that we might want to take. Since what we have to do is very hard, and the more people we have, the better chance we have at doing it.
That does bode an interesting question, though. What happened to your grandfather? I'm referring to Fudar.
I figured as much. Edward kind of looks over at you. Oh, my father was one of the warriors who fell in the first assault of the Horde attacks. He died a heroic death battling the darkness before it began to sweep over the land.
Running away like a bitch.
Mentally, I'm thinking, so he's one of the people that failed to protect the thing from the threat they knew would eventually come.
I'm thinking of something else. Well, that explains my hatred towards the elf, but do thank you for the information, I guess. I would have to agree with Sir Dwarf over there. Attracting too much attention. We're not trying to fight this war on the front lines. It seems that most nations have that lockdown, let's say, without being too specific and too grim. We're attempting to subtly subterfuge the Horde's attempts if possible. And with the Fudar strolling about, we'll be incredibly noticeable. Even from the enemy lines, considering how loud you can be.
Not gonna lie though, me and Tatsu can't really do that well. I'm a chef and a bard. It's literally my job description not to do that.
Yes, but
Tatsu.
yes,
I
but
don't
an entire
understand.
legal. Yes, but an entire legal system of carrot and stick hasn't been set up around your family, has it?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that.
I don't know, Tatsu had 10 years to change that.
What is your dad fucking Helm?
What? No, let's just say that he makes really interesting food, and he's probably made a lot of enemies. So if I say his name, some people might not like me.
I see.
He's not a nice guy. He might have done something illegal, okay, you know, like he's done a lot of illegal things to get food and stuff. So I'm just.
Unicorn egg poaching, SMH.
Honestly, I think he probably did do that.
Do unicorns have eggs?
And on that note,
oh yeah,
Same
that
question.
note, Quincy and Nancy walk in, and you just hear, "Do unicorns have eggs, Quincy?" That's where you walk in.
now, Nady, like we said, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. No.
Yes, I'm afraid we're not going to have to turn down your offer, Miss Mint. There are other things that I have to teach the young Miss before we adventure off with you and your companions.
Yes, Miss Fudar is on a very tight training schedule where she is trying to get as best she can be in order to be the best for the Fudar family. Sadly, as of right now, our methods don't currently cross. We're currently investigating what's going on with potentially the war and what's going on here, settling some legal disputes with the Zants, with the Zagos, something like that. They're a bit too much. They're a bit too fast-paced. They need to get Miss Fudar up and trained as soon as they can.
Okay. Mint will look over to Aru and like gently hold her hands. I will write to you so much. We're going to be the bestest of friends, and once I see you again, we're going to travel and we're going to save the world and do amazing things.
That's allowed eventually. Sorry for interrupting.
Of course, if it means, know it in my heart we shall meet again. But we are friends for life.
We are. And she will give Aru a hug.
And Naruhu will hug you back.
And then Mint will join the Horde to become the wife of the big bad evil guy.
And waifu.
Yeah.
Mint
The next
Lord
time
waifu.
they meet,
And then they'll become eternal enemies.
yeah, the next time they meet as enemies.
Honestly, that seems pretty cool. I kind of like that.
Jesus.
Ah, yes, the anime plot.
As Mint turns on the party, getting them all killed so she can become the waifu of the...
You were my sister, Mince!
We trusted you!
You're
How
meant
could you
to
betray
save
the
world,
order?
Not do
Yeah.
it!
But he's so hot. Look, I can't. I'm sorry.
I have the high ground, Fudar!
You can't win, Mint. I have the high ground.
You are the prophesized one! You're supposed
You
to
are
destroy
the
the Horde, not join it!
You underestimate my horny arrow.
You underestimate my horny.
From my point of view, I'm the horny. You're the horny one.
Completely honest, this is the whole reason why.
From my point of view, the Alliance is horny!
The lions is horny.
Well, in any case, past that point, you seem to have successfully avoided making Eru Fudar join the party.
Crisis averted for
No
now.
NPCs allowed in the cool kids club.
But
The
as you,
Aru and Aru and Mint together would make devastation across the land, and I love it.
the whole
It would have
country
been
would be
amazing.
burning. the Horde wouldn't need to invade anymore. They
Look.
just have to wait.
Look, Quincy's playing the straight man, okay? I really need to, like, not have to do it for 7 or 6 characters rather than the 4 I've got right now. Okay?
But hey, you would at least have Nady to try and help.
Yeah.
No,
Some
Nate.
issues.
If okay, I'm sorry. Nady's been doing this for 300 years and she's not been doing a good job. I'm sorry, Nady. I'm out of meta-wise. Nady isn't doing the best. She's doing a great job off-screen doing it. But off-screen preventing Fudar shit versus in-character preventing Fudar shit is 2
Okay.
different
Okay,
stats.
at least Nate survived, you know?
One's
I
heat,
really
the
didn't
other's
want her
not.
to, but I missed 5 fucking attacks. I missed like 3 advantage attacks against her and 3 advantage attacks against Fudar. I don't know what the fuck happened.
The gods had wanted them to escape from you, so this could occur just as it is.
Yeah.
Think of the plight side. If you had killed Naiti, Eru Fudar would have been by herself, and thus nothing could have talked her out of making her join.
A bolt to the head.
So in reality, we made the
No.
bad choice by letting Eric roll for
Big Bad
damage.
Evil Guy could always invade Asalia, and then we have Execute Order 66 en route.
We can have a boss fight against Snowgrizz in the third session, right? Kill Nady. Kill Eru.
Oh.
I mean, we've already proven that your character can't kill a Fudar.
Yeah.
Alright, moving back onto the game.
That one stung.
So what you're saying is an orphanage run by an Fudar, and
Well, see,
most of the
Fudar,
time
you gotta remember,
Azamar.
Snilgris didn't have problems with children in Azamar. Snilgris was the Fudar. He could not harm
Yeah.
Fudar.
Exactly. So we send the Fudar
Well,
after
okay.
Snilgris. We have
Addendum.
the orphanage of Azamar children. We successfully resisted half of the fucking horde.
Addendum. Snilgris did almost kill the Fudar on multiple occasions and just couldn't.
Almost doesn't count. Almost isn't 300 gold in the bank.
Almost
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
telling you,
first to
I'm telling
truly
you,
lose.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and thermonuclear.
I doubt their max health and damage. They just had temp HP. Fuck me.
Exactly.
In my headcanon, there's a divination wizard that just went, fuck, the plan failed. I needed to orphan a Fudar and have them be born about 10 years ago, so they would be a child orphaned Aasimar.
Yes.
The
Yes.
ultimate bane of the horde.
Yes.
Honestly, Aru and Mint together are the ultimate combo against the horde.
Now, here's the thing, though. There'd be the anime subplot of Mint fights Snilgris, and then Marcel and Bacon fight Aru.
That's the thing, the Marcel also fits because in my head, Marcel's her uncle or something. So that would also be another hindrance that he would have.
I'm your great uncle's third cousin,
Yes.
best friend.
This isn't Star Wars. They go, look, I am your father. No, this is oh, you're my niece? Too bad.
Too bad. Time to die. Pew pew.
As long as you're not a priest that's unconscious, you'll be easy picking.
Okay,
So did
so-
we have anything else we wanted to talk about, or did we want to just fade to the next day?
We're going
I'm
to
good.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay. Next day comes as you guys go to your beds. As you share your rooms, you discover you are sharing rooms with many orphan children. But you do have a place to spend the night. You guys do get a good night's rest as the morning comes, as the High Priestess Susan once more comes to gather you up in the morning. Oh, you've all slept well, I see.
Yes, thank you very much for your hospitality.
For saying
That's-
that, I'm just looking over all my stuff, ignoring that question to make sure I have not been robbed.
All your monk stuff, which is Bex.
Which is all of your alcohol that you're trying to make sure the children
all
didn't
the
steal.
priority items in my inventory.
I mean, we're living in the house of future rogues. This is how rogue characters are made.
Not false.
You can almost hear the tragic backstories.
I will make it even more tragic if I do find something stolen.
The horde is
Sure,
Um,
roll investigation for shits and giggles.
Yay! I'm gonna fail.
God, yes, you did.
Everything's a-okay.
Everything looks good. But you could have sworn you left your bags. In fact, it takes you a bit to remember where you put your bag down. But you do eventually find it. Looks like everything's
I
there.
could have sworn I put it on the right side. Where the fuck is it?
You realize that you had flipped when you woke up in the morning. Your head and your feet and head had switched positions, and now it's on your left side.
Weird. What trickery is this?
There are dark magics afoot.
This is where the fun begins.
But as Susan looks, I'm glad to see that you are all well and happy. You'll be happy to know Miss Clara and Miss William are fine. Have been staying here as well and taking care of things, but I have been keeping contact with the magistrate, and she told me that it would be appropriate for William and Clara, if they do wish to return to the town, may do so.
If the magistrate says it would be appropriate, then he's not going to up. He thought that it'd probably be better for everyone to get out of that town, but if the magistrate, she seems like a rational, smart lady who knows town politics enough. If she said it'd be fine, then it's.
No, they said they may return. She didn't actually. You have no idea.
It wasn't a suggestion. It was just
you are getting
allowance.
what is allowed within 25 words. You don't know the details. Remember, message is 25 words. So if there's any intricacies or noticeable things, really can't be conveyed that easily.
Got it.
And I don't think you mentioned to Susan your fears because you kind of skipped.
I waited till later.
Yeah, you want to wait till later. So if you want to mention the fears to Susan, you may do so.
Yeah. Is it all right if? Well, I'll run it by you, and you can see how to phrase it. No, you're not allowed to change the spell every day as a bard. You can change it every level.
Not a preparing spellcaster, no.
Suffer in agony.
Darius is wondering if we're using the alternate rules.
Oh.
I'm going to say no for now. I may let you change later, Ares, but for now I'm going to say we'll keep the trad rules.
Okay.
Miss Susan, it seems that town is a small powder keg of a bit of prejudice, and it seems that the town people believe that Claire's treatment may have not been the most effective, and they may not be the most hospitable to William and his father and mother due to their origin. I was wondering if there's any way to use the consulting fees and the service rendered fees that I would naturally receive from this escort and bringing them here in order to relocate them to an area that's slightly more hospitable. I don't know if you could find a way to phrase that in 25 words or less, but I just wanted to let you know.
Would like your reward to be used to relocate William's family?
Well, my thought process is that the best thing I could do right now is stop as much prejudice as I can, and getting them out of that town, closer to, where Cloud will be eventually staying, most likely with them, would probably be the best option. You guys seem to have a lot of fat mouths to feed here, so I wouldn't expect you to take Cloud into your arms.
Well, Claire would be welcome here, of course. But, just so I'm aware, you are willing to use your reward to relocate the Orc family, just to be clear.
Yeah.
He's a charitable man.
Well, I suppose I can run it past the magistrate. Of course.
So, in Hero Campaign 3, when these characters become player characters, right? Man, they're gonna be like, yo, that Quincy guy was the best. That's the big brain, big concept right there.
And Esmond and Mitsutoshi are going to be the big bad evil guys.
Yes.
Mitsutoshi will be fucking a lich or dead.
Though
Why
they're
would
not
he
mutually
be-
exclusive.
Why would he be fucking a lich?
No,
He would
he-
just be a lich.
No, he'd be fucking a hag as a lich. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
His mother Midnight's bitch. You guys don't know what he's been gone through.
Mitsutoshi seems like a dom, but he's really a sub.
He is a lich.
Everyone's a
but also
sub when
Mother
it comes to
Midnight's
hags.
bitch.
Yeah.
Misatoshi's the bottom of that, literally. It's the bottom.
Yeah.
As you look up, well, I suppose I can convey the message for you, Mr. Quincy. That's easily enough done. You see her kind of close her eyes. A few minutes pass. I relayed the message. She said she would tell William's father and mother about this. I suppose with that, Mr. Quincy, did you wish to go house hunting in the city then? She says inquisitively.
That's your job. You're being paid to do it.
He's spending his payment to do it.
Exactly.
I believe I can. While I do so, hopefully the rest of my party can figure out what we should do while we're in town, see if there's any way we can help townsfolk and make some other cash, and I guess see if we want to get involved with conflict. Does that sound right? Feel right with everyone else? Or does anyone want to go house hunting?
Now I shall see if there's anything that needs to be done.
I'll accompany him.
What was the BBC show called, or TLC, or whatever?
The Life
House
Channel?
hunting. Yeah, the live channel, house hunting or something.
House Hunters.
House
Yeah.
Hunters. And by
Time for
then,
a House Hunters episode.
50 different House Hunter series.
Definitely, when I prepped today's game, the concept of the party going house hunting did not come into mind. But that's D&D for you.
Well, again, these are house hunting for NPCs. This will be in their
That's hero
name, so we
clan
can
for
literally
ya.
just fade to black, right? Like, it's just
I
like
know.
Quincy
The
won't be
prominent
here.
horde
Waging
is
war
pressing on the
against
front
the
lines. It's not
Oh,
looking
no,
great
let's go
for
house.
the alliance. Let's go house
Also,
hunting.
why are we house hunting? Just have the money forwarded to like Orc Boy's father, and he can like finger touch it
Literally.
out.
Literally. Maybe
Because
Quincy
like
just-
we can find a house like somewhere, but you know he's a hunter. He needs something specific.
Yeah, Jordan can. Yeah, that Jordan's idea makes sense.
Yeah.
Quincy. Yeah, that's fine. They can find it. We'll just fund it, basically.
Fair enough. So you relay that message. He goes, very well, William, Clara, if you would stay here till your parents get here, William, I suppose that's the new plan.
I love the way Heath came through with it. I guess that's what's happened. The new plan.
Susan looks very like weird, confused about what's happening, but seems to roll with what's happening. Meanwhile, Alru and Naity go, that sounds like a wonderful idea, Mr. Quincy. You are such a big-hearted fellow.
Well, it's a bit selfish request. I hope by moving them to this that there isn't any more ongoing legal battles in this town for at least the next few weeks. So that's the real hope with it. Because if we left them there, let's be fair here, there'd be so many stop searches for no goddamn reason. Everyone would be like, hey, where's the orc at?
Let's be real, Mr. Quincy just doesn't want to do any more pro bono work.
I really don't want to get a call like, hey, Quincy, you're a great lawyer last time. Right? Like, he wants to avoid those, because he's going to be doing shit.
Yes, and funding a potential house in a nicer neighborhood is not going to get you one of those.
Yeah, you're just gonna get even more calls.
Wait, are we?
Mr. Quincy, I fell over in the butcher's shop. Do I get to be paid now?
Wait, are we not doing the house hunting?
No.
Do you want to? I figured we could just fade to black since this isn't our house. This is just the NPC's house. So I figured when we wanted a houses and stuff, and we wanted a party house, that's when we'd go house.
Party house!
I think Mint would like to have their house ready and stuff and be kind of nice.
Oh
and
yeah.
be-
Okay. You know what? Then Mint, Quincy, Aru, and Nady can go house hunting, and the other four can figure out what we're gonna do in town. Does that sound fair?
Sounds
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Since we're already here, let's ask Susan. Hey, Susan, is there anything to do for the church?
Oh, the church? Nothing that I'm aware of at the moment.
Okay, well, that's my part of the job, but the rest is up to you.
Our character just goes, "Hey, Susan, any children you need slaughtered?" I got the scene in Star Wars I really want to replicate.
Yeah, but she goes, but if you're looking for tasks to perform for the sake of the city, I would suggest either going to the guard houses or the Hunters Guild, perhaps. Of course, you could also ask the Lord of the City if he has any larger requests for you.
Would he
Well, we
accept
shall-
us?
Pardon?
We shall make a day of it. I'm presuming that like on the guardhouse there's like a bounty board or things like that.
Yeah, there's like normal bounty boards at guard houses. Like you would be looking basically for criminals and known things like that at the watch house. Maybe monsters, roaming monsters.
We make the rounds. We go to Hunters Guild, then guardhouse, then City Hall, essentially.
Okay. So we'll start with you guys heading to the Hunters Guild, where you basically see various various hunters gathered, archers and other sorts of war fighters. You do look about and see that there are some bulletin boards up for basic monsters that have been seen near the round or around the city that need to be cleared out or hunted down. Many of them have been taken. You see a lot of several have been taken, but there is one that catches your eye that's not just like Okay, I guess I should ask, what are you looking for specifically on the monster board? Are you looking for any job, or are you looking for something that pays well, or are you just looking for something big and dangerous?
I'm currently looking for something that's right on the cusp of being too difficult for what I witnessed us as a party being able to take. As a bonding experience, we go in knowingly, not like us rushing in going like, what the fuck are we fighting?
Like 2 hags or lower.
Essentially, yes, like 2 hags or lower.
Yeah, but had all of our past combat. A Leroy Jenkins scene.
Leroy Jenkins! You guys just charged the red dragon.
Banzai!
So you do look at the board and you see some smaller things like wolves seen by local areas. You see some stuff. One creature board does count your interest though, as there seemed to be some sort of monster that's been seen by just offside the coast that's been attacking boats. Described as large, scaly, many teeth, has sunk a few fishing boats.
Water bad.
Water do be bad. Okay, I'll keep that one in mind and we'll head towards next destination.
Guardsmen, attack.
I guess we should probably switch to the city map here just so we got that. There we are. Okay, so you head towards the next where you head towards is the guard's house. There you come across the bulletin board, and you see this place, unlike the place where you see mostly monsters in the last one, this one you see this is more about bounties. You see a few bounties based off some local bandits outside the city that's been causing issue. And you do see what looks to be a high bounty for someone called the Bloody Dagger. Apparently this person, after a quick raid, you see is wanted for various murders, assassinations, and other things.
Oh, familiar territory.
Honestly, let's take this one. If for nothing else than that, we can just scream out, "The Bloody Dagger!"
Indeed, but I have nothing against this person. Honestly, I actually want to assassinate a couple of the local nobility myself.
Wait, how much does this job pay?
When he has a bounty on his head for 1,000 gold, fuck it, I don't care. He can do what he wants.
How much gold is he valued, that thief?
Right now, you're looking at actually, ironically, you are right. It's 1,000 gold for this person.
Yeah, I see 1,000 reasons to go hunt that person down.
Is he like a bandit or an assassin?
Based off what you say, he is not an assassin. Or he's not a bandit. He seems to be someone who seems to strike and kill at night. Most people don't have a description of him. He seems to leave more like a, calling card after assassinations and murders.
Yeah, Tatsu, killing this person is, apprehending this person and then killing this person is gonna be a chore.
Can we, does the bounty board say dead or alive?
It says 1,000 alive, 750 dead.
So, for all intents and purposes, we'll most likely be getting him dead. Mostly because people like that, you really don't want to give them some extra leeway, let's call it.
True. How much was the monster thing?
The sea monster?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 800 gold reward.
Okay.
Well, we have one of two things: either a straightforward sea monster, or potentially hunting down an assassin that.
Well, now that you put it like that, let's go hunt down the sea monster.
Okay, well, we will run this by the rest of them once they are done with their charity work.
We still have to go to the town hall.
Indeed.
So
But-
you,
Considering we'll be talking to the mayor, we should most likely wait for the two, let's call it, charismatic people.
this would be a lord because you're in a city. Mayors are for towns, lords are for cities. Like so.
My lord. My lord, I would say you are very charismatic.
I'd say that the past 10 years have made me a very jaded person, but
The ladies like that, my lord.
I'm not going to seduce the local lord. That's
He's had enough problem with seduction lately. You didn't know what he did to get away from Mother Midnight.
All I'm saying, my lord, is that you spent 10 years with a hag. Might as well spend one night more.
You're really giving the other elf a run for her money, aren't you?
It's my job description.
Your job description at this point would have been to take that blade and kill yourself with it by now.
At this point, it's gonna be fucking Tetsu or Mitsutoshi's just gonna return to Azalea as like, we're gonna commit war against the Golden Woods, but we must eradicate the elven kind. They have proven none of it are worth it.
Azealia was right before. We shouldn't have never opened the borders.
We should have kept the fucking elves out.
Tatsu Nayeni did one of, well, he isn't a
They were
samurai,
like
so...
animals, so I slaughter them.
Indeed, but, fucking A, I keep saying her name and then just deleting it from my mind.
Natty.
Yes, Naiti did the, ultimate guard social faux pas of letting her charge die, and yet you're somehow, despite not doing that,
Well, technically,
managing to rival her in stupidity.
how do you know she let Fudar die? You were never told Naiti was there.
She served the family.
She served the family. She specifically said that she
Traveled with them.
follows around the wilder Fudars, and then small Fudar just went, yes, father fell in
Battle.
yeah. So my character would put two and two together.
Fair enough.
It's- If they weren't there, that's a failure on their part too.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
fair
you
enough.
see, my lord, I followed every order to the letter, so I did my job. She didn't do hers. So maybe it's better to be stupider.
That war on the Golden Wood sounds a lot tempting at the moment. Moving on. Yes, we will be reconvening with the other two and then proceeding to the Lord's Manor.
Me and Quincy were having a nice talking about their houses.
Yes, I see you having the chats in the discussion with the buying the house. So you guys do find what you're looking for, a nice little house. You may roll me. I don't know if you guys want to RP talking to a person selling it or not, but
No, I figured we'd head to the city hall
Okay.
to do it. So there you go.
Oh, you went to City Hall for the place of payment.
Yeah, because I figured a lot of the local town for the city would be run through the hall. So
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
There real estate agents exist in this world. Like, I don't think those are really common.
it's one of those things where maybe for a town there would be one, but maybe for a city there is a regent agency. But I assume if we go to the city hall and say, hey, we'd like to buy this property, they'd get us in touch with who's selling.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of argument, we'll say that. So you guys wander towards city. You coincidentally bump into each other at City Hall.
Well, man, isn't that very lucky? Man, why are you guys here?
Well, we were looking for additional options towards work hunting.
Well, we were just found a place we liked and we were hoping to purchase it. Let's all head in and get our things focused.
And we do so.
Okay, so you guys head into what looks to be the Lord's Hole. It seems to be a rather, after discussions, you find what looks to be kind of more like a palace/castle, since the Capitol building is actually a proper, semi-fortress/building. As you look about, and I'll just put it on the map for the sake of having it there. There you are. And you enter basically like the Lord's Castle. You don't enter immediately. The guards stop you first. He goes, "Excuse me, sir, what would you like?"
We look at both the bard and the lawyer.
Hello. We've come to look to Acquisition House. We were wondering if we could get more information about where we can procure it from. Well, the seller.
They open their mouths for a minute and then close it. You wish to procure about purchasing a house for the city.
Oh,
I suppose
you're new here.
we could gather one of the scribes for that.
Also, we've come on.
We are a small mercenary band that recently finished a contract and would like to see if the local lord has any work that he needs done.
Oh, I see. May I ask who you are then?
We didn't come up with a group name, did we?
The guy just looks at you, tapping his foot, waiting.
He recently helped the church.
I take a sip of my obvious choice of drink.
No, hold on. I am opening a name generator.
Yeah, I assume we can't just go around calling ourselves the 6 random fucking bozos. So.
Yeah, I'm like, you did announce yourself as a mercenary group? Mercenary groups have names.
Our name is in fact the 6 random bozos. Let's go.
Or you should
No,
say
I don't
8,
think
as he counts 8, because Eru and Naati were with Mint and Quincy this whole time house hunting.
Newly acquired.
Yeah, they're newly acquired. We never planned to expand, but some people wanted more.
Why the fuck isn't there
I mean, I
a
wasn't gonna
group
force
name stabs?
I wasn't planning on doing this to you, but you did introduce yourself as a mercenary group.
Not an official mercenary group, just in a manner of speaking.
The Exotic Food Brigade.
My superior has spoken, therefore to say otherwise would be a dishonor.
The Sake Squad.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Hell yeah.
Mint and the Mintettes.
Nah, the cook and
Haggard but
stats.
brave, and it's because of the hags. Haggard.
Actually, considering our party is like entire thing, let's just call ourselves the Mise en Place.
The what?
Heat might know what that means.
I'm not positive, actually.
It's essentially preparation of ingredients just prior to cooking. So like things like chopping up things.
Mise en plus law offices. There we go.
We usually just call that prep, but yeah, fair enough.
Why are we attaching law offices to the end?
We don't honor our food with the special words.
Why not?
Yep. So I just say the Mizan plus name. Let's see if that one sticks. Kick.
What about hopefully I'm saying this right. Shokumatsu.
Shakawatsu.
I don't know that one actually.
It's the Japanese word for food.
Shikumatsu no Shoko.
Shokumatsu.
The people of Asalia recognize this word, yes.
The fucking itadakimasus. The itadakimasus. Let's go.
Yeah, ikitakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
We literally called it party food. I mean, it sounds like a cool name, and it was the first word that I learned from Tatsu in your language.
Interesting.
Let's go with that.
We could also be called the DMs, the light-in monsters, because we eat them.
Shokumatsu. Okay, well. So your name's the Shokumatsu.
Yeah.
I feel like we just did the video game part where it's like, please enter your party name.
And it
Yes.
spends more time trying to find a name than actually playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's the character customization screen where you're there all day.
I will not see any of this in actual
just like that,
gameplay. But
like-
my god, is it
All
going to be
the
great!
confused at the beginning of Skyrim are just looking at your character transforming into different races.
God
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
it, it takes a fucking hour.
And then you realize, I don't actually see anything but his hand or their hands.
I don't actually play in third person.
Yeah.
Well, you clearly don't have the appropriate mods for a Skyrim playthrough, Keith.
Honestly, though, I'm really scared to go to Asalia because once they find out our group name, they're gonna be like, "That is pathetic."
They're gonna look at half our group and say that is pathetic. They don't need
I
a
mean, to
name.
be fair, we could just change our name with every city we go to.
Yeah.
Or we could all dress as hamburgers when we go to Asalia.
I mean, that or you guys just end up naming yourselves Random Name Generator.
Random name generator.
We are the RNG.
No, we are the RNGesus.
Jesus.
Either way, Shikamatsu it is.
Shikamatsu.
Shokumatsu.
How about that? But with Kami at the end, which is food god.
Yes, I am Kawakami. I accept this.
Because the food god of Asalia was fucking murked.
Shokumatsu Kami. Okay, I'll tell his lordship.
Guys, we're destined to die. We're destined to die.
The guy goes in, then you guys wait for about 20 minutes. He walks out. The lordship's a bit busy to meet with a unknown mercenary group.
You just help with a task from the church itself. So we do have one repertoire, or one reputable client.
Yes.
What was this?
Saki
ask?
goes.
We help transport a. I look around to make sure no one's really listening.
Okay, nobody's. I mean, roll me a perception, I guess, would be the fair part.
There are 5 sketchy individuals hanging around.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the party.
Yeah.
Looks clear. Though you see this strange-looking, shifty-eyed old man looking at you.
It looks familiar.
Well, we help transport a hag so that she could be cured.
He kind of looks at you, goes, and that was mercenary work hired through the guild or Hunter's Guild?
We were hired by the magistrate.
Kind of looks at you, he's like, look, miss, I'm sure you've done great, and perhaps you have seeked to the magistrate, but magistrate isn't here right now. I have only your word to take for that, so the Lord doesn't wish to speak with unknown mercenary groups to be hired for more extreme business.
Wait a minute, question.
Yes.
Do we still have the paper that the magistrate gave us with our instructions?
Technically, you handed that over to the priestess, and there would have been no reason for her to hand it back. Since that was
Yeah.
for her.
Alcoholic beverage
Mint.
goes.
Mint, it's quite fine. This was just additional things that, you know, it would have behooved us to ask. And if nothing is urgent, we don't need to. We already have 2 potential missions, so just finish up your housing thing.
How scary does this guard look?
Hmm?
How scary does he look like he's just underpaid guard?
I mean, roll me a standard in history or intelligence
And
check.
this
You're-
is where
you're
Mint
big,
tries to bribe a guard.
Yes.
You don't know much about guards.
He just
I
doesn't
don't-
look.
I don't know. You had this
Actually,
song and dance was
following
happened
up on
not
this
too
idea-
long ago.
Me following up on this idea, would I know with my background?
You're a soldier background, correct?
Yes.
You may roll me a history check with advantage.
Right. Okay, history. Yes.
Okay, it wasn't that high to DC. It's a little odd there's a single guard at this gate. Like, guards are almost usually 2 or more. Especially with something like a castle gate, it's weird to see a single guard.
He looks at him, looks down, sighs, and just walks off.
Nikolai, did you want to do anything with that info?
I'm not sure what we could do. I mean, I don't know. Didn't think I'd get this far.
Jesus.
I was
I
fully
so I could say I could help,
couldn't tell.
not to actually contribute.
Fair enough. All you know is it's very odd to see a single guard.
So either they're underpaid, he's capable, or they really need the troops
But-
somewhere.
yeah,
else.
yeah, sure. I'll comment on. I'll comment on that. This is wait, hang on. What is he guarding again? The gate to the.
He's basically
Lord's
guarding the gate to the Lord's castle.
All right, so I will comment on that. If this is the gate to the Lord's manor, then why is it just you?
Well, that's a twofold question, sir. First off, and probably one issue is, unfortunately, due to the lack of manpower due to the war, the entire city is definitely understaffed for guards in general.
So
Been
what
quite a
you're
problem,
saying is
honestly.
that a character is our stealth missions might actually succeed.
No.
Yeah, they're still doomed for failure.
Yeah.
It's been quite a problem, hence why we've been hiring a lot of mercenary work is being hired down at the guilds lately. Normally we don't have so many jobs up for hire, but the need of adventurers in the cities are rather important due to the vast amount of troops lost in transport for the front line.
I suppose that makes sense.
And the second reason is the Lord barely needs a guard, honestly.
And why would that be?
If you ever met him, you'd know why. He says,
Ooh.
I love that instantly got Ares' attention.
Capable noble? Sign me up.
The instant walk back.
And then walks back. Was this?
Very well. Well, considering we have been to the Hunters Guild, I'm gonna brief all of you once we reconvene somewhere slightly more private, but again, the housing issue.
Of course. The scribe can meet you over at that building over there. And he points to like a smaller building to the offshoot. The scribes are in there for taking care of that sort of business.
Quincy, Mint.
Oh, man, if you wanted to go with him in the Adventures Guild, I can wrap this up.
Oh, okay. But, Mitsu, is this a really good name? I mean, I thought you wouldn't go along with it. Are people of Asalia gonna not like the name?
Oh, we should come up with a better name before
If the
we
people
go.
of Australia have a problem with it, it won't just be for the name.
We can
'Cause-
come up with a better name later.
Well, if you're going to go register a quest at the Adventure Guild, we may need a name now.
The people of Australia won't have a problem with it. We have a reputation-based culture, not a naming-based culture.
True.
I kind of like the name.
Well, then we'll use it.
Yay.
I'm gonna have to ask how Eric's dog got in the sink.
Oh, Eric's dogs are just little shits. Like, Eric has spoiled the shit out of them.
And it's biting him in the ass.
Adventurers Guild, we're off to go to the Adventurers Guild.
We go to register in the Hunters Guild. It's not the Adventurers Guild. Kick.
I was singing a song, okay?
And
Well-
we were correcting why the song is inappropriate for her.
Exactly. Honestly,
You sing.
You should-
Absolutely nothing except she shanties.
sea shanties. Okay, let's start. Okay, enough she rises.
And way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning.
Well, we might be going to kill a sea monster, so it's the perfect time for sea shanties.
Sea shanties. Wait, can I cook it and eat it?
I mean,
I could assist you, calamari.
Yeah, is the bounty for the creature's body or just to get it dead?
well, you have
I'm
to
not-
have proof of death.
Okay, we'll keep some
And I'm
part of it intact.
And I'm sure keeping the bodies parts to sell to people that might be interested in said parts is always a side business or side profit from the Hunters Guild.
I smell profit.
Like, the most of my repertoire goes with dealing with people and not monsters, but I can try.
My Google Chrome. just
Fighting on water, not my specialty.
Same.
I expect death. But hey, that isn't something to run away from.
So, anyways, you guys head over to the Hunters Guild. There you see a rather large figure running the counter. Massive and gray. As you realize, you see what looks to be, of all things, a Loxodon just running the countertop.
We'll approach.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you all. May I ask why you're here?
We're here to register for the guild as adventurers.
Ah, you're joining the guilds. Good on you. We need more members. And of course, you paid your guild fees.
How much is the fee?
The fee is 1 gold per person per year.
Oh, okay. Do we pay it to you now, or do we have to go to a different counter to pay?
You can pay right here.
I will put my gold down.
Okay. And as you do so, he takes your name and gives you a chit.
This
Oh,
is your
I'm gonna register myself, Tatsu, and the other Asalian person.
Okay. He gives
Exactly that name, no name required, just that other.
Other Australian person.
I am just a side character.
My bad, okay?
I
No,
will do
it's
the
great.
same.
I called it.
I will do what is required. Just kind
I
of.
looked at Nikolai. Are we side characters?
My computer completely just shit out, and I have to restart it.
Okay, we'll give you a minute.
Yep.
Is
Like-
no one gonna pay for Quincy?
Chrome has completely locked up on me.
I'll pay
No,
for
we're trying to
Quincy.
drain you of all your money.
I'll pay for Quincy, don't worry.
Because he's not there, so he can't really.
Well, you can't register if you're not there.
Can he not register if he's not there?
You can't. You do need someone. He would have to just register later, but for the sake of easiness, that's simple enough. He just has to walk in, register his name.
The
pay
fee will be
gold.
swayed. He just needs to officialize
Yeah.
it himself.
Exactly.
Is it called a chit, by the way, Heath? What
Yeah,
is it
chit,
called?
a chit is just a piece of paper that has the saying you're allowed, like a card or a passport. It's basically your license.
We put it in our wallets and say sayonara, and we'll never see it again.
Yeah,
What is it?
basically, if someone asks for your Hunter's Guild
Identification.
license, identification or Hunter's Guild, you present it to them.
I'm gonna ask the question. What if we lose this?
Don't.
Don't, yeah. Your names are
It'll be-
registered under the guild, but you would have to go to the guild house or get someone to check your registration. But there's a fee.
It'll be a 5 silver fee.
Yeah, there's a fee for people losing it, and you'd have to get a new card.
God damn it.
And you get to be laughed at by all the people.
Well, I'm gonna do what every responsible person does. Their mom, give their lord a credit card.
Okay.
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Did he just call Mitsu mom?
That was part of the joke, yes.
Did he do that in character?
No.
Okay. That's what I would comment about that, man.
I also thought that was in character. It's mostly you never know with Dartar. Like it's always a 50-50.
We always just assume it's it because that way we can at least prepare for the consequences. That way it's always a nice surprise when it actually isn't in character until he continues.
So in any
Okay.
case, yep,
I have a quick question on a character.
yes.
You have a profile picture in Roll20. What is it? You have a different profile picture in Roll20 than you usually do.
Oh, yeah, you never saw that. That's Zaku. Zaku drew that for me. It's a portrait they did of me.
Can I see? Can I see?
Sure, I'll just put it in general here for everybody if you want to see a blown up picture of it.
Really tiny, so it's really hard to see.
Yeah, I know. I'll get you the full thing they did for me. Yeah, you did a really good job for my birthday for a picture of me.
Oh, thank
Totally
you.
did not expect it, so it was quite pleasant.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I showed you it already, but I guess I might have missed this group. There you go.
Oh, I like it. Of course, on a nat 20.
No, that's just Heath rolling.
Yeah, I've done that a lot to you guys.
Yeah.
Nothing kills players like Heath roll and die.
In any case, so you guys have gathered your stuff, and basically then you can take the bounty board for the sea monster and ask any questions if you like as the lockstone goes. Do you have any questions about any bounties you wish to take?
Okay, but we're waiting for Nikolai. Right.
One moment.
Yeah, his computer died.
Oh, I thought it was back
Yeah,
up
I
this
opened-
time.
I open up one extra tab and I accidentally drag it into a new window as it was opening, and that just caused all of Chrome to crash.
Yeah, sometimes little things like that can mess up.
And like it was a hard crash where I couldn't even restart the computer normally. I had to hard reset.
Oof.
Have you considered arson?
Many times.
So did you fix it or?
Yeah, I'm starting back up.
And me. Speaking of crashes and hard resets and all that fun stuff, I got a buddy of mine helping me hunt down a graphics card in Vancouver so I can make my new computer, so that should be fun.
What card?
I'm hoping
What
to get
card?
NVIDIA 3080.
Nice. What price are you getting it for?
I'm hoping to get it from Best Buy, so actual fucking normal price. Which is
Okay,
about
I think we're good.
$1,000.
I
That
think
should-
we're good.
I think the normal price should be like 500 to 600,
That's
not
American.
1,000.
It's
Oh.
about 1,000 Canadian. That's just the conversion rate.
Ah, okay. Damn, if you can find that for that low, Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
if you
good
buy
now.
it from the store, you can. That's the trick.
I know, but how do you find it, Heath? How do you find it?
You have.
look
You
a
don't
lot.
live in Bulgaria.
Yeah, I mean, in my case, dude, I happen to have a friend who lives in Vancouver, and Best Buys in Canada. There's only 4 Best Buys in all of Canada that get cards in once a month. I'm just hoping
Also,
he can
Baka,
find one.
I'll have you know, Bulgaria actually has like a pretty good technology market. I don't know why, we just do.
Like, I've been searching every day for almost like 3 or 4 months now, and I can't find even a 360 for under like 700 to 800 euro.
Yeah, I mean, that's because if you shop online, you got no hope, man. You have to buy it from store.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, it just happens that Best Buy's not selling their stuff online right now. They're only selling in store.
Or they're shipping only.
No, actually, right now Best Buy's doing in-store or only right now. They're not. You cannot purchase online.
Oh, well, I
Good.
pre-ordered something.
No, just the graphics cards. Just the
Just
graphics
the
cards, Vex.
Yeah, that stops the fucking Chinese bots from buying them all
Yeah,
out.
it stops the crypto miners and the frickin' scalpers. Because you have to go in
Yeah.
physically to buy it. But in any case, besides the note, you're back, you said, Vex?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are, the Laxodon looks, so what job are you all interested in taking?
The Sea Beast one.
Yeah, the one with the big fuck off sea monster that seems to be bothering you. I think that's the one.
You are going after the big fish right away, I see.
Yes, we are
Go
quite
sh-
ambitious. I mean, just if you heard our like adventuring party name, you would see that we are quite ambitious indeed.
Oh, yes. Yes, I should have given you a group. What's your name?
Shoku Motsukami.
He kind of looks at you and blinks.
You're the food gods.
Exactly.
I go slurp.
I am the head chef, and I am looking to cook this creature once we turn it in, of course. But I will make a feast out of it.
Oh, really? Indeed. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Wait a minute. He kind of eyes you up there. You're trying to turn a monster into food.
Yes.
What's your name?
She's not gonna try to, she's gonna succeed to.
What's your name, miss?
Mint basil?
No.
Yeah?
You couldn't
Mhm.
No!
be. Your father! Ha! He's a famous hunter.
He is. I'm trying to follow in his footsteps.
Well, you should have said so. Now, he hands you back a gold.
Oh.
Free of charge for those of descendant family members of the previous hunters of high ranking.
How high of a ranking was my father?
Oh, he was about as high as you could get. He hunted some of the biggest beasts with other party members.
Are there any in town?
Well, I'd have to check the registry if anyone is signed in. I don't know if any of them are here at the moment. Many of them obviously off doing their own hunts.
I understand, but you know how he is. He goes missing sometimes, and you can't hear. You don't hear from him for months on end, and then he comes back like nothing happened. So I'm currently on a quest to find him right now. So if I could get any leads, I'd be really thankful for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, miss. When you get back from your journey, I'll see if I can dig up the last time he was here, perhaps. Maybe that could at least give you a hint.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Min has this like cocky smile on her face back again, and she's really happy about hearing this.
Well, then, with that said, the bounty did mention that the creature was targeting small fishing boats. Is there anything that the abbreviated version decided not to share?
No, of course. Obviously, if you're taking the job, we can give you more details. Apparently, the creature tends to attack in the late evenings or just before nightfall. Tends to be larger than the average boat by a fair size. Nothing out of these, nothing in the gigantic area, but definitely a huge style beast, I would gather.
It is mostly aquatic, I'm guessing?
The creature?
Yes.
As far as we are aware, yes. It tends to have a tendency to strike boats, tip them over, and have people assaulted.
I see.
Roll me a nature check, Mint.
The monster.
Okay. Could be a couple different things. Judging based off of the description and the name, you gather. Yeah, what's the best way to put it? I'm trying to remember the name myself right now. You gather it's fairly dangerous creature. Lizard-like in nature, maybe. You gather from the thing it's most likely just a pure aquatic creature. It doesn't really come on land. You don't really have enough of a description to work off of. You don't know the exact name. But it does sound like something that would be a challenge at least to take care of, but might sound delicious.
Oh, I mean, it salivates a little bit, but not.
Apart from that, though, you guys look at each other. He kind of looks over to us.
In any case, such a creature does live out in the water. You may have to hire a boat or have a boat yourself, purchase, of course, to go hunt the creature if you so wish, or figure out any other way you wish to go after the said monster.
We shall make do.
How hard could I throw these people? It's a joke. How hard can I throw them out to sea? We won't need a boat.
You have to catch me first.
Well,
Speaking-
My average says.
remembering session 0, not very far at all.
Speaking of which, considering we'll be hunting down an aquatic beast, and we have until evening, would anyone like to purchase weapons that are conducive to the environment?
Can I shoot water arrows?
Well, you can shoot arrows underwater, it's just a lot harder. As in, you get disadvantage meta.
Unless you're using a crossbow.
Yes.
Well,
Cool. And what weapons worked underwater? I cannot remember top of head.
Essentially, piercing weapons
yeah.
are best.
Yeah, piercing weapons tend to cover it. So daggers, rape, actually, I think it's just tridents are the big one.
Yep.
Trident, spears, and harpoons, basically.
oh,
I don't
fuck
suppose
it.
short swords work. 'Cause if they do,
1d8 or a
probably-
1d10, whether it's a light or a heavy mint.
No, how much do they cost?
Oh, cost? Oh, I said how much does it? Oh, yeah. Let me double check. They're not too much. I believe they're like in the... Yeah, light crossbow's 25.
Okay, because how much does like a set of bolts cost?
Like a silver.
I guess I need to purchase a crossbow because I don't think Vicious Mockery will be able to help me much.
I mean, you can use it,
You
but...
never know.
How much would
You must cut into the mighty beast's
Would
inferior.
Eldritch Blast be okay?
Yeah, most magics will work underwater, but if you're underwater, you're going to swallow water.
No, yeah, obviously. I still have a light crossbow I can just hand to Mint.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, theoretically, if they're better than bows, I can also use a crossbow right now. No extra attack. Fog.
Imagine being able to use
Your
that.
bow's piercing, you should be fine.
No, crossbows are specific for water things. So we go crossbow hunting. Kick.
Is there any shop like rent a crossbow?
Rent a crossbow.
Rent a crossbow for all your big ass fish killing needs.
Wait. And was I already a guild member? Was I have a guild membership. To what? Do I have a guild membership to this guild?
The cooking guild, the chef
You're the
guild.
cooking guild. Yeah.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
the cooking guild.
I can get a light crossbow.
Now,
as
if you
well.
wanted to talk to the chef's guild about a crossbow, then feel free.
Wait, Mint, what can you create with your current bar thing? Up to what gold cost?
100. Isn't it 150 gold?
No, 20 times bard, so 60 right now.
Ah,
Yeah.
So we can currently make. How much is a heavy crossbow?
Heavy crossbow?
Yeah,
50.
I could
Mint can make a heavy
harpoon,
crossbow.
huh? I could make a harpoon and we could try to attach to the monster.
Or that, I guess.
So I'll be getting a light crossbow, which is neato.
yep. Essentially, if anyone wants to switch weapons, now is the time.
Yeah, I'm just debating that I don't want to pay 25 gold.
Jesus.
Honestly, though, I
I
think
can
someone
use
might need a mana
short
harpoon for my creation thing. I can make about like 3 harpoons.
Can't you only make one object?
You can only make one
Oh.
object.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, but if I spend a second spell slot or higher, I can use the feature again.
Yeah,
Or
but
you
the
just
first
buy
object is
harpoons.
Yeah.
Well, if it misses, we're going to have to create another one.
Yeah, but think about the action economy there. You essentially need to spend a turn making it, then spend a turn using it.
Yeah.
And then spend one of your valuable spell slots also, so.
Yep.
Well,
Honestly, my second level spell slots will not help us in this situation whatsoever.
how much are harpoons?
They're about.
How much are.
I'll double check.
I don't think that's a D&D weapon.
I
It
mean, you could
probably
always
is
just
and
use
expanded, I
javelins.
bet.
Like, this is my spells for second level. I don't think they're going to be worth it in this situation.
10 gold is what the one specialty thing says. Yeah.
Oh, we just need to stab it real good, and then you
Yeah.
can metal it.
Can I just get a heavy crossbow, please?
How much does a heavy crossbow cost?
50 gold
50
is heavy.
gold.
I'm probably spending money. Oh, because I can make it for free, can't I? Okay.
I mean,
That's why I'm
what you
asking
could
you.
do is you could just buy 3 tridents for 5 gold, and they're meant for spearfish.
Yeah, you can just get tridents.
Yeah.
Are
the tridents are
tridents-
basically, yeah, trident was basically equivalent to harpoon.
What are
Now,
they? 1d6 piercing, range, thrown, versatile.
Alright, so. Shopping list for me. Light crossbow,
So-
that is it.
You would have to throw the trident with your strength modifier. You couldn't use deck.
Yes. But that's all thrown weapons unless it has the finesse property.
Right.
Yeah.
I just make sure.
So tridents are useless to me.
Buy your crossbow.
Fuck it. I'll just. Nah, I'm not spending 25 gold on that. I'm just gonna keep my bow.
25 for a crossbow. It's a good thing I'm cheap and therefore have money.
You could just get a bunch of daggers.
Why would they get daggers over my bow?
Because if you get in the water, the bow could be very hard to use.
I have a rapier.
Alright, fair.
When making a creature isn't swimming speed, either natural or granted, has disadvantage on all attack rolls unless the weapon is a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident.
Dagger, short sword, spear, or
Trident or javelin. Because javelins are a melee weapon. Amazing.
fuck it. I'll buy a single dagger. How much is a single dagger?
2 gold.
Okay, I'll get a dagger.
Are we going with the heavy crossbow idea?
That's 50. He ain't touching that.
Yeah, that's only if Mint wants to spend the feature to get it.
I can't do that, but you need to buy the bolts because I don't think I have.
Oh yeah, I'll buy the bolts separately. It's just like
Bolts are
the heavy
cheap.
crossbow. Yeah, bolts are 1 silver.
Yeah, bolts are nothing.
All right, I will make you a heavy crossbow, but you better hit it.
Yay! I'll do my best.
I just can't wait for him to hit the heavy crossbow, roll in that one, and shoot her and shoot Mint in the foot.
I hit it, man.
I hit it, Mint.
It's
Okay,
only when
well-
it's dead will he hit.
We're in a big city. Are potions available?
Healing potions? Yes, this city would have a store where you could pick up healing potions.
I'd like to.
Okay, so you get directed to like the local magic shop area, where you see this kind of old elf kind of working the stands as he kind of looks at us. May I help you?
Yes, we're about to go on a bit of an expedition. I would like some reassurance. Do you happen to stock some healing potions?
Healing potions? Well, what are you looking for?
I would like 2 lesser ones, just in case my spells fail me. Also, it's a bit underwater, so
No,
you know how spellcasting is.
I don't suppose you'd like any other sort of potion then?
Well, what do you have in stock?
Well, we do have potions of water breathing.
How much does one cost?
Are you guild members?
Yes.
Well,
I present badge.
he looks at it. Oh, I see. One moment, please, as he does it. I actually can't remember the cost. I do know the cost, but can't remember. I don't think they were too much.
Yeah, it sounds
They're
like-
on.
Healing gold.
It's an uncommon potion. Uncommon
Yes,
items are
50,
100.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks at it. I would say it was about roughly 100 gold or less per. But your guild members, so I can have a potion of water breathing for 75.
Hmm. Well, I'm actually happy with that. Instead of the 2 healing potions, I'll get the water breathing one.
Very well. He will sell you the water breathing potion for 75 gold.
I arrive from the ether and buy one of those healing potions.
You buy one of the 2 healing potions he has, that's fine.
How much are the healing potions?
Yeah, there's only one left. They're 50 gold apiece. They're the standard price.
How
Okay.
many how many water breathing potions were there?
He's got a few.
Yeah, I kind of wanna get one.
25, 35 gold.
Do I want to get a healer's kit?
So 75 gold for a water breathing potion.
75 gold?
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. Can I get a healer's kit?
You can, but not from here.
Fuck, wait, where's our gold again?
Above our inventory.
Okay. Shit. I don't think I've been changed. Am I supposed to have only 10 gold?
Considering you got 50 from one thing.
Yeah, you've been getting gold. You might have been forgetting to mark it down.
Yeah, I have been forgetting to mark it down.
Plus, I don't know if you included the bonus that Heath gave us.
I'm a bit brain dead.
Wait, what bonus did Keith give us?
I don't know.
Jordan, how much gold did you have in your inventory?
I had 113.
Probably.
I'm a noble background, minus 25 from that, and a cleric, minus 10 from that, and you have my gold. You have the additional gold.
Yeah.
Minus 35 from 113, which is 5 plus 13, which is 78.
Yeah, 78 gold is. So add 78 gold to your inventory just for the sake of easiness.
Alright,
But
so
do keep track of that in the future. This is the one time I'll let you get away with me giving you a.
Otherwise, you'll just say you lost it in a bet.
Yeah, you got drunk and forgot it somewhere. That's that. From now on, if you don't mark your gold down,
You
that's what happens.
buffoon.
Okay, I have 88
Absolute
gold.
buffoon.
Fucking idiot.
And it is 900 gold if you guys succeed to kill the sea monster.
Yeah, that's a good return on investment. So what, 75 gold for one water breathing potion?
Yeah, and that'll let you breathe underwater for an hour.
For an hour? Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. So 88 massive.
Considering how much they say they're supposed, one guy says they're supposed to be 250 apiece. You're getting quite the deal on them, which I think is ridiculous for an underwater breathing potion.
Yeah, alright, I'll get a healing, I'll get a water.
It's the thing of a lot of people treat them as uncommon magic items and not as consumables, which should get an additional reduction.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It should be like 100 gold at the most. And not that useful of a consumable. It's a very niche consumable too, right? It's like...
Well, it's because it's niche is why it's that expensive, you know? It's like, we don't usually have to make potions of water breathing, and the shit's hard to find.
Fair. But
Yeah.
For the sake that you're actually in a goddamn, like, coast town, they have plenty. It's amazing how many people need them.
Okay, yeah, so I bought it, I changed everything, I'll fucking keep track of my gold now.
Yeah.
And with that done, I think we're like ready to head off. Anyone want to do anything else?
Nope.
Wait, hang on. How much were the tridents again?
5 gold. Actually, yeah, the tridents were like... Let me see here. Tridents were 5 gold a pop, but you can get spears. They're the same but cheaper, and they're 1 gold a pop. But tridents are specifically meant to hunt aquatic things. I have multiple prongs for that reason, so I don't know if that'll confer a better bonus for them. I don't know. It's up to Jordan.
I could get...
I don't think there's... I don't know why they actually are such a difference in it. But yeah, for the purposes, yeah, it doesn't matter. Spear or trident. I think the difference is a trident is pure metal, while a spear only has a metal tip.
Yeah, okay, so if you're saying we could get either or, I could either get 2 tridents or 13 spears.
Yes. But you can only really realistically carry 5 spears on you.
Fuck it, tridents are cooler, I'll take those.
Yeah. I think the purpose of why the tridents cost more is that if you use a, well, what's the terminology in D&D? Like, if you used a damaged equipment policy, spears would break while tridents would not. I think that's why they cost more.
Do I put tridents down in my inventory or under weapons?
It's both.
Inventory and it'll do it weapons for you.
Yeah, you could just drag the trident over and it'll do all of that for you from the
Cambodium.
index Cambodium.
Wait, fuck, where's that?
The
Alright,
Cambodium's that
so-
little eye on the right side. You just type in trident and then just drag it onto your sheet and it'll do everything for you.
Make sure you're under items.
Alright, so...
It's a shame that Kensei gets bonuses for specific weapons and a short sword and light crossbow are neither, but I do what I must.
Yes, indeed.
No bonus AC for me. Or a D4 for using a bow on this. I feel like we're risking it.
How do I drag this onto my sheet?
Just
Click
grab,
and
click
drag.
click and drag. Yep. Just like an icon, just click and drag it onto your sheet. Your sheet can't be minimized. It has to be. What's the phrase? It can't be windowed. Like it has. You can't have it windowed.
It has to be in pop-up?
Yeah, it has to be a pop-up, not windowed. It can't be pop-up. It can't be pop-up. It has to be just part of the program. If you pop it out, it won't transfer.
Okay, there you go. That's what the
Yeah, it should give you like a drag here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't give me just the trident. It also gave me... oh wait, did it just give me the trident? Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, she gave you the trident. Pardon me, Ares?
I was going to answer, sorry. Oh, you don't have to add both tridents. You can just add the number to the left side of the trident.
Yeah, you don't have to add it twice. Just add it up.
Okay, how do I delete an item?
There's a you scroll in your item area. There's like a little lock you can hit, then you can delete.
Okay, so that's what that button does.
Yeah,
I'll put in a large breathing potion.
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and...
Yeah, you can also add that through the compendium, or you can just type it in. Okay, is that everything you guys are after?
Yep, we're good.
I'm good.
Okay. So moving on from there, you guys have gathered your weapons and supplies. You would have to charter the next thing you'd have to do is grab a boat.
Yep. Also, can we ask about whether like the the local quartermaster, I don't know, essentially has like not really a ban, but like a curfew on like we know that boats are sinking at dusk, so don't.
Basically, what you're looking for is your Hunter Guild member. You would have the ability to register a boat for the specific hunt.
Yes, no, I'm looking for like if there is like a rule until problem is resolved, don't fish at dusk, and if there are people that actively like disregard that.
Yeah, there has been a warning put up. They don't have a law about it, but is an advisory.
Okay. Well,
avoid this. It won't stop ya, but you should do it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm essentially just trying to make sure that essentially we're the most visible target on the seafloor.
Gotcha. Yeah, you probably will be. I mean, the only people going out there are kind of suicidal.
Ah, yes, a suicide by sea monster.
Yeah, so...
I mean, you might find some ships out there, you know, people like trying to take advantage of the fact that, hey, less boats are out there, now's my chance.
What are the odds he'll come for me?
You know, I've been fishing on this lake, and everyone else has been catching fish. I haven't caught
see that
shit.
thing try.
None. They're all out here. That means it's my turn.
But okay, well, we chartered, considering that most people that are sane have decided to abstain from death by fish monster will just get a boat.
Okay. So you're able to go to the dock master, and he is willing to sell you lend you a boat for the guild as you sign it up. Basically, the guild says that they give it to you pro bono, but any damages to the boat will come out of your reward.
How much does a boat cost?
The one they're giving you, you're looking at about like a 20 to 30 gold boat. They're giving you a cheapo. You can upgrade to a higher one if you want, but...
I would actually like to do something else. I'd like to purchase my own.
You want to buy your own boat, or just that little boat?
No,
I'd like for us to have 2 boats, essentially.
I was about to say, Jordan's like, this is the second case where a boat would have been useful to have on hand, so we were going to have a second boat.
Well, actually, now that you say that, I dragged that boat we found in the swamp all the way.
Yes, we're having this adventure. Let's send Eric first.
Unbeknownst to the party, I do in fact have a boat in my inventory. I
actually have the cloak of many things, and I have 4 boats.
I have infinite pockets, and there's a boat that I pulled out.
Basically, a rowboat costs you 50 gold.
You know, now I think about it, if we get a bag of holding, can we shove a boat in there?
Technically, no, because the weight would cause it to rip. Also, the size.
And we have to make it
the size.
And the size.
If you cast like reduce on it, you can fit it for about a minute.
I mean, once you get it in there, I don't think it's a problem.
No, it is. That's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, because it's only got so much space technically inside. That's right.
It is in an infinite dimension, sadly.
Okay, but what if we put a bag of holding into a bag of holding to get more space?
Very bad things happen. That's how you end up in the astral sea.
Matter of fact, Tatsu, you take that boat, Gil, once you see it, do this.
Yeah, but listen, if you already have a boat when you're going to the astral sea, at least you can, spend the time in the sea with your boat,
It's not that type of sea.
Yeah. Still, so we get 1 boat pro bono. Can I can someone, no, not me, can someone haggle for second boat kick?
I can haggle for a second boat.
I will inspire Quincy to haggle.
I can assist.
Well, I believe that we should receive a small discount on this boat just because we are going through the adventure with this. We are from a reputable source. And in addition to that, you can definitely tell that if we, and I'm willing to say that we are willing to definitely, we're from the Reputable Adventurers Guild. We're going to fix the problem that, let's be fair, has been impacting his business as well. And he probably hasn't been wanting to give boats to people who, are going out there to probably die, because, And so since we're fixing the issue that is affecting his business personally, and we are from a reputable source, he should give us a discount since we're buying multiple items. Because Eric's going nuts.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
Buy your boats in bulk, get a discount.
Okay, that's good. He'll give it to you for 43.
I am 13 gold, Chari.
If you would like, you may. He will offer you the ability to knock it off your reward when you get back.
Okay, fair enough.
And before we fail the quest, kick W.
I did have
If we fail the quest, like we're 60 gold in depth, it's not that much.
Sorry, what were you saying, Ares?
I did have one more thing to ask him. He's like the lead fishmonger, right?
He's just the boat dock master.
All right. Do you know where I could get a bucket of chum?
You just see this kind of guy. He just looks like, basically tells you that you can buy chum here if you need it.
There's like 7 different shops on the way
like
here
he
and
just
another
looks
7
over,
on
like
the way
nothing
out.
but chum. Yeah.
You can buy chum at the chum bucket.
Good
Okay.
thinking, though, Mint.
If
Can
you
I,
look
like-
to your right, chum.
Can I have like 2 or 3 buckets worth?
Okay, that'll cost you. It's basically a copper bucket because it's chum.
I'll just pay
Who doesn't want
gold.
fish guts?
And so that would be 4. That would be technically 9.
God, what's with this overinflating of the economy? A gold piece for 5 buckets of chum? Jesus.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna get like 5 buckets of chum and be like, a Tatsu, he'll hold this, and anyone else willing, like Nikolai.
No, Tatsu's gonna have 2 in each hand and 1 using his teeth.
He takes a tumble down. He just gets his face plant right in the middle of the chum.
Santoryu, 3 chum bucket style.
Alright.
What do you mean 3, 5 per chum buckets?
Nick is good carrying him Mulan style on the ends of his warhammer.
Alright, I think you're ready to go now.
Okay, so you guys gather yourselves together and
We are so boned.
Let's do it.
and get on your boats.
Boat time.
1 second. I get some.
Wait, can I ask the fish guy one more thing? Or is it too late?
Yeah, you can ask him. Yep.
Do you know usually where the monster likes to stay near the best? Like from the reports?
He kind of looks at you and tells you basically the monster generally goes to a specific area. Basically, it's a deep fishing spot. He tells you where they generally are.
Alright, thanks. Because we didn't know where to go exactly. We just knew to go somewhere. So I was like, more specifics, please. Thank you.
Yeah, he gives you the specifics where the
Yeah, where's the global coordinates to this so I can just put in my GPS?
Are we just gonna be like we're just gonna be wrangling the scariest of monsters so Mint can cook them?
I would like to
I
Uber
mean,
this. I'd like
Here's a
one.
slight issue. How the depending on its size, carrying it might be an issue.
That's this why we have 2 boats. Essentially, preferably, both boats survive, and we hook them on each. Like, we hook it once on each boat, and we drag it like that.
Yeah.
I thought ahead, guys.
I mean,
In theory, this works.
Yeah, realistically, you can easily enough get the what's the phrase I'm looking for? You could get the boat, or not the boat. You can get them. The creature's big enough that you could probably, like, once you have it dead things float. That's
wait,
what I'm trying to say.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Where did Aru and Nate go?
They're at this point. They were staying by the. They went to go find a local inn, unless you guys had decided to grab them. But
basically the house hunting after you guys went to the Adventure Guild. That's when I'm like, all right, Nady, you can take Aru and
Yeah.
you should be good.
Now's your chance. Run, you fools!
Not it has
flee,
to
you
run.
fools! Flee,
I don't-
Fudar, flee!
I don't have anything to do with a giant sea monster. Like,
It's fine.
You have
Jesus.
Quincy's crossbow. It's fine.
Yeah, we all
You
got
can heal
crossbows.
us when we're dying.
I have a +1 dex.
So,
okay.
so that means you have a +3 to hit. It's fine.
Okay, fine.
As far as action economy goes, you're helping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Either way, we go to our death.
let's just go.
Death.
Dun dun dun!
Death.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cook this thing.
Okay.
One of us will die, but one chef's house live.
For the sake of this, I will put you on the map. You guys can decide which boats you're in.
Team Asalia! Minus
guys.
Tatsu!
Move move out into the waters, you may drag your token and decide which boat's which.
I live to regret.
Okay, so chum boat is most likely gonna be the one attacked. So decide on chum boat and non-chum boat.
You may also, I know you can't control the boats, but just click if you want your boats in certain like positioning for spacing. Because you guys got
I'm okay with
probably a good
this.
half hour worth of rowing. So if you could kind of adjust the distances and lengths of where your boats are.
Actually,
Row, row, row our boat gently down the stream.
Is this gonna be chum boat?
no, that's gonna be non-chum boat.
Yeah, this
From
is
the looks of
Chumboat.
it.
This is Chumboat.
I love Eric's logic. Like, yes, we'll be chum boating the backline boat, right? Yeah.
No.
I feel like there's a unequal part of parties on each boat.
Indeed, Tatsu, go to chum boat.
But I have the heavy crossbow. I don't want to be sunk.
The heavy crossbow works underwater. You can still join us.
Wait, does it?
Yes.
Yes, that's why
Yes.
we are getting them.
Okay, fine, I'll sink. I'll buy into this.
He bought into it hook, line, and sinker.
Alright, once we get in the area and dump the thing, I'm gonna materialize the heavy crossbow for him.
Okay, so you that lasts how long again? An hour?
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. So yeah, that should be fine as you get into the major area. 2 hours. So as you're in the area and this dusk starts to settle, I'm assuming chum boat starts launching chum into the water, or what's happening?
I am primed to fire. Nikolai's got the chum.
No, we don't. We're not in the chum boat.
We are the
That
chum
is
boat.
the chum boat. That is the
That's-
chum
Yeah.
Oh, I thought all the chum was with men. Okay, yeah.
No, Tatsu is carrying some of it, and so are you.
boat.
Right, okay.
We are not leaving our healers with the bait.
So as you guys start tossing chum into the water, just roll me, let's say, an advantage, either survival or animal handling. Your pick.
Me?
Whoever would like you in the chum
It's a
boat.
+2 for me on either. Anyone got a better score?
Okay.
I got a 1.
Both of them are 0. Alright.
So it's
No.
the bottom.
Esmond.
Alrighty.
Oh, Nikolai rolled it, so we got a 12.
Wow, I see how it is.
Nikolai, why?
By the way, Nikolai, don't forget your health. You're at 27 instead of 28 for some reason.
Oh, I forgot to heal up.
Guys, we should have asked for an inspiring story.
Fuck.
Yeah, you did. You could have
I mean,
asked.
we haven't been in any fights, so that's why I forgot to heal up.
Oh, no, yeah, it's fine. I'm just saying, you're about to enter a battle. All hit points are necessary.
Pish posh.
Nah, I'm sure we can all fight this battle with like 1 HP.
I've never had a
Alright,
situation where my
I
HP
still have some
mattered to the digit. Not at all, Jordan, who sent 7 fucking 4 keep increasing the number 3 bone dragons at me and exactly 1 HP'd me.
So as you guys get the thing, I'm assuming someone's trying to keep an eye open.
Yes.
So
I assume we're all trying to keep an eye open.
yeah, so you guys can roll some perception checks. At disadvantage though, because you are trying to look through water.
I'll help you, Mitsutoshi, so you just can't.
Is that a
You
thing?
can't do that with disadvantage rolls.
Yeah.
Because you're both at disadvantage, right? So yeah, two
Okay,
disadvantage
so-
rolls can't become a plain roll, unfortunately.
Unless you want to get a fishing rod and make the hook glowing.
Okay.
Fix
Wait
it
a
if
minute,
you know
Now that you
higher.
mention that, that gives me an idea. Didn't you guys say you had 1 bucket of chum over there?
No.
No.
Chum's in the chum boat.
Are you asking to glow up the chum?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait
That is
a second.
disturbing and I like it.
Mitsutoshi can't see.
So, just as you guys see, you guys notice. Luckily, luckily for Mint and Nikolai, they notice as you guys are watching the water chum, a large figure bursts coming up from the water at a fast pace, coming right for the chum boat. Starts moving forward and bursting up from the water, raging as you see this giant creature, long net and fins, moving forward. Burst out.
Nessie!
It looks friendly.
It does.
Oh my
doesn't it?
god, that's the monster of Loch Ness.
There you go.
So my first instinct was the Nessie.
That is just dead ass Nessie.
That's a Dysonor.
Yeah.
Well,
Dinosaur
Freaking
Nessie.
Nisosaurus.
Dyson.
It's Nessie. Let's kill it.
It's Nisosaurus Rex.
Look, a 5-year-old made sure to clarify that it's called Dysonor. So I
and with
need
that, it does not get a surprise round, so everybody may roll initiative.
Woo!
Ooh, 2 baby!
I continue to roll shit for initiative.
Desmond, I rolled worse. You're good, man.
I'm still rolling shit. Woo! Chumbo for the loss, except for
Kawakami
Tattoo.
goes first again. Kawakami gets targeted first. Every
I
combat.
am God.
Just making sure no one accidentally rolled initiative with disadvantage, right?
I don't think so.
No, that's all natural, Nikolai.
Kawakami goes first.
Kawakami always goes first, baby. Woo. Okay, well, I'm gonna just do my first turn the way it should be done. So, fighting spirit, right? Then shoot it. I have advantage, right? Or is it a neutral roll?
It's advantage because it's out of the water at the moment.
Okay. It gets to get shot.
For 4 piercing.
Fuck yes. Roll the 1. And then I'm gonna do the pro gamer move of action surging and shooting again.
You rolled a 1 on a D10?
That will miss.
I am a god.
You rolled a 1 on a D10.
He's an absolute unit, alright.
So you watch as Kawakami goes, ha-ha, loads his crossbow, shoots, fires, and just kind of grazes its head as the creature looks at him, roars. And then he's like, oh fuck, loads up again, goes, fires, this time he goes wild off into the water.
God damn it.
Ah, the elves and their bows.
Listen, it's because I'm using a crossbow. I'm not used to it, okay?
Next up
This is a dwarf's weapon.
I swear this would never happen to me if I had a bow. This is the first time.
Does Quincy still have his Bardic Inspiration or no?
That last 10 minutes. That
It's
was
been
given to me
few
like
hours.
hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, get out of the way.
Hey, that's your Radiant Soul. So just watch as Mint, why don't you describe that for everybody?
Oh, I already did. It looks like normal like angel wings, and like a small halo just appears on her head. As it doesn't fit well, but somehow it fits.
I love if there's a guy in a boat somewhere, he could see Mitsutoshi, the angel, and the devil, and just think that he's just having illusions right there. Like a devil over one shoulder, angel over the other.
The fucking holy trinity of human, angel, and devil.
Devil, angel, and old man.
Truly, the things to fear in life.
So you pop, that's your action?
Alright, bonus action, I will, let's see. Who wants Bardic Inspiration?
Choose your poison.
I enjoy Bardic Inspirations.
I want to give it to Tatsu because I don't trust him to hit anything without it.
Yes.
You obviously haven't seen me use a sword.
Incompetence always proves useful in the end.
And are these boats moving or are we stationary?
For the purposes of this battle, you're stationary unless you try to row.
We're
Alright,
on rowboats.
I will fly up 30 feet.
Okay, so just mark that off. Just click a circle and give yourselves and put a 6 on the circle to indicate 30. No, 6. It's 5 feet per thing. So just, or you could do it that way. Easier way to do it, Ares, is because everything's in increments of 5. It's easier just to put the number and just multiply it by 5 instead of doing 30. But you can do it 30 if you'd like that way.
I like
How
it
many
that way.
squares are you?
Yeah. Okay, that's your turn. It's the giant Plathosaurus' turn, and it just got shot, and it did not like that. You gave him a paper cut.
And it didn't like that.
So it's gonna
4
come
could
to your
kill a
boat
peasant.
and slams into your guys' boat. For the sake of this, everybody just roll me either an athletics or an acrobatics to make sure you keep your footing.
Haha, I'm ready to fall in the water.
Everyone else rolled good. Let's see Kawakami.
Where's my acrobatics? Fuck yes! I told you! I told you!
So yeah, that one! You guys watch this cow come!
He was targeted.
Right into
Very
the water!
targeted.
It's like, splashes right in the water!
Splash, splash.
Hey, Kawakami with the perfect pickup. Oh my god!
Kawakami's now splashing desperately in the water. And the Plathosaurus will come around through under the boat to strike at him.
Why do I even try with him?
Yeah,
Why?
one. Jesus Christ. It's like, ah! He's got the high.
I should just stop trying.
I mean, literally, it was a 10 to stay on your foot. If you got anything but a nat 1, I wouldn't have knocked you in the water. Just,
The Kawakami's just breaking expectations.
and the creature will attack you. You're in the water, and it has a swim speed. You do not, so it'll make a big bite as it comes swinging at you.
Tom.
Missing! Luckily for you, just. As it takes a bite, you just scream underwater as it just misses your side.
Easy every time. I baited it perfectly.
Okay, Miss Satoshi, you're up.
I was, my plan did revolve around people not being in the water this early, not gonna lie.
Well, you can give out a blast, call it a day.
Alright, let's wrap it up.
The thing is, that was in fact my plan.
And one of the main people you wanted to give it to is now in the water.
It's now under the sea.
Under the sea.
It's water.
Don't worry, just give me the bless, I'll shoot it right in the face.
If you missed at this position,
I'd have a disadvantage because I'm within 5 feet of a hostile creature with a range attack.
Yep.
Drinking potion
Drinking
is a bonus.
Is a bonus action. Unless you give it to somebody else, then it's an action.
Okay, I'll bonus action. I'll bonus action drink a potion of water breathing. I will free action just sigh and say the things one does for one's retainers. And yep, I'll go here-ish. Fuck. Can I take a running leap from boat?
Technically, there's no way you could running leap from a rowboat.
Great Sag.
Unless you want to risk knocking everybody else in the water, because, you know, jumping off a boat will make it rock like crazy, if not tip it.
Yeah, so... these 4 people get a bless.
Are you using the second level? Okay.
Yep, and that would be my turn.
Okay, so you guys mark your blesses down, and you mark concentration for Mitsutoshi.
Yep.
Yeah, and who do you tell to shoot it?
I don't think... who has a ranged weapon from here?
Desmond!
Mint.
You.
Okay, well... Esmond, shoot it.
Alrighty. Big mistake.
That will most definitely miss.
And then that would be my turn.
Okay, Nikolai, you are up. You just noticed the elf get splashed into the water and is now battling for his life against this giant monster.
Alright, I am going to try and actually get that thing off him. So, can I drink my potion of water breathing and then action, or what is it? Action surge or second wind?
No, you get second. So drinking a potion, if you're drinking it yourself, is a bonus action. It's my house rule.
Oh, okay.
you
Because
don't
I was gonna drink the potion, then jump into the water with my trident.
Yeah, that's fine. You
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah, that's. You don't have to do anything. You can just do that. That just use up your bonus action of movement. You still have
alright,
your action.
Oh, okay. Alright, so I drank the potion, I jump in the water, and I want to take a stab at this thing.
Okay. You may take a normal strike since you are using the trident.
We'll go two-handed.
Very nice. So you come in and strike it in there for another 4 damage as the creature kind of thrashes about. Anything else?
I don't think I can do anything else.
No, that would be all your. By the way, you only have 10 foot of movement in the water because you're swimming at half speed, and you only have 25 foot movement speed.
It's fine. I'm prepared for this.
Okay.
So what you're saying is I can move as fast as Nikolai swimming.
Esmond
as
goes
he
off
can
the boat.
running.
Yeah, Esmond, you're up.
Round 2. Let's try again. Firing arrow.
Oh damn! The critical hit will hit.
Woo!
13 damage. You crack this thing nice and hard in the head. It didn't like that.
First time
It-
using a crossbow.
It would be concerning if a critical hit didn't hit because that would mean it has adamantite armor.
But
No,
they're
it would
gonna
be
use-
concerning
it'll
if-
just
It
wouldn't
just
do
wouldn't be a
damage.
crit.
Yeah, it just wouldn't do the damage, extra damage.
It would be concerning if a 29 doesn't hit. That would be the concerning bit.
You were blessed.
Everyone but Tatsu. And
Yeah.
Toshi.
Okay, Quincy, you're up.
All right. I just needed to ask because I have less. Which I didn't make a macro. Which because I never expected to get blessed.
It should be on there automatically.
I've got a guidance on him.
You have to add like an attack. and
Yeah, you have to
a
add it for
saving
attack
throw.
and that's automatically blessed. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Got it. All right, I am going to cast an Eldritch Blast at the creature.
Ooh, that hits for sure for a good 16 damage. Just crack into it. This creature's not liking that.
See, that's how you roll a
Thrashes
D10,
about.
okay, Dio?
No. I will roll another one.
And yeah, that was my action. I can't really do much as a bonus action, so I will pass.
Okay, Kwame, you're up.
Why does it keep turning to auto roll? I don't like that. Okay, so how much is it an action to get back on the boat?
Yeah, you would have to do an athletics check to climb up because it's not easy to get on boats.
Okay, and I'm in melee range, so I have disadvantage, right?
If you're attacking, yes.
I see.
Does Esmond
Wow.
have to brace himself for the boat rocking?
Well, you know what? I wasn't raised a quitter. Let's go. Pew.
That will miss.
Okay, that's my that's my
don't
turn.
have a water breathing potion, right?
No,
You're drowning right now. You sure you want to go through?
I'm not drowning. I'm above the water. I can swim.
Yeah, he's capable of swimming above the water. The only reason he might be drowning is that the thing catches him and drags him under.
Yeah,
But,
he's
Yeah.
not grappled yet.
Give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
We have faith.
Is it in range of me?
Well, what are you attacking with?
My light crossbow, which is
Oh, you're
80.
definitely you're definitely in range of 80.
Try not to
Okay.
be.
Just barely, but you are.
Because I don't know about like up and down, so that's too hard for me to do.
I know you're in range, but just.
It's within range of Nikolai. Use that for reference.
13.
I mean, you're also flying. You can literally just move closer to it, Mint.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you can fly, so
Like, you're pretty much safe from this thing.
They
Everybody
fly?
else might die. They fly now? Yeah.
They fly now?
I might
That's a
just go the
terrible
melee route. I really might just go the melee route. This is going great.
Did it hit or no?
That would miss.
Okay.
So far, our minimum is 23, I believe.
No, our minimum is what my first shot was, right?
I could have sworn it was a 23.
Oh
Yeah, it was 23.
No, a 22 also hit by the trident.
Oh. Alright, we're gonna hit lower. And the lowest and the highest we rolled that's missed is 13. So between 13 and 22.
No, 14 and 22.
That's turn, Ares?
Yeah, I don't have anything
We're
else to
bridging the
do.
gap, boys.
You didn't want to Bardic Inspire another person?
No, not now.
Got it.
The Platysaurus goes about, It can't really reach Esmond because it's engaged with Nikolai and Kiwami.
My plan has worked. Unless it didn't.
Surely it can't tell that one of them has drunk a water.
Being 100%.
It will take its first move and attack Nikolai.
Rar XD.
Missing with a 15. And then it'll take its second bite at Kiwami.
Miss with a 14, come on.
Hits with a 20.
Fuck.
You take 14 piercing damage. This thing bites down onto you.
Okay.
I was fully ready to end up in this situation.
And
Because
you are
if
now
I
grappled and it will dive underwater with you.
No, fuck off.
Now he may need that water drinking potion.
And it will go 20 feet underwater since it is grappling. And you get an attack of opportunity, Nikolai.
Oh my god, this is
Alright,
hilarious.
I am gonna dive after this thing.
Well, you
is
get
it
your
just a
attack first.
Okay. One-handed.
Guys, while it's
That'll hit.
grappling, I can
3
outpace
damage.
it.
It's Satoshi, you're up.
It's quite down there, isn't it?
It's 20 feet underwater.
Yep.
Dun, dun,
According to
dun, dun.
triangles, it's less than 65 feet away.
I want to break free.
Well, God, Dertar, why does everything you do annoy me?
It's not me, it's the dice, okay?
DM, is it technically in range of spiritual weapon?
What's the range of spiritual weapon?
60 feet.
Oh yeah, you're
sure
yeah, it's 55 feet away. You would be in range of spiritual weapons.
Flying anymore.
Okay, I'll go one there and two deeper, so let's there we go. And I will spiritual weapon it. Bonus action. Do I not have a thing? Oh, I do. Neat. Spiritual weapon.
That'll hit it for 9 damage.
So 14 to 8.
Sacred Flame.
Dex save 14. Fails for 3 damage.
And that would be my turn.
Nikolai, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I need to.
I completely forgot I had Booming Blade. Can I use that?
You may do so from that one, yeah.
Because this thing, it's more effective if it's moving, correct?
If it moves, it will do damage, yes. At your level, if it moves, it does an additional damage.
Okay, then yeah, of course I'm gonna use it.
You'll have to swim 10 feet underwater, just so you can reach it. It is a
I
large
will.
creature, so you still be in range of 10 feet.
Okay, how do I indicate the change in how
So
deep I am?
Click on your token, and you see the spyglass.
Yes.
Click on that, and then click on one of the circles.
Okay.
And then while you're still, don't declick it, but then type a number in, just like 4 or 5, while your mouse is over the circle.
So 2.
So
in this-
10 feet under?
Yeah, you're 10 feet under, so 2. Yeah, exactly. Each number indicates 5 because it's a lot easier to track it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So I go after this, cast Booming Blade, and I still
Make
get
your
to attack.
Yes, you make your attack, and Booming Blade is the attack. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go, Boomer Blade.
Let's go.
That'll hit for
Hey.
6 damage. This creature thrashes
Finally.
about an egg and
Finally, my two-handed attacks are working.
That's your turn, or you want to do anything else?
I already used my movement, right?
Yes. You can still have an action surge, though. You are a fighter.
I do still have an action surge.
Yes. Technically,
okay, yeah, I'll
you
use
can
that.
boom it blade twice, because it's cantrip.
Okay. If I use action surge and use Booming Blade, then I get to attack twice with Booming Blade, right?
So then it would take 2d8 damage if it moves.
Yeah, of course I'm going to do that. So action surge, Booming Blade, and then I'm going to attack again.
But that one,
You have
unfortunately, misses.
Bless.
You have a D4.
Yeah, roll that d4 with your bless. You might hit, just in case that makes the difference.
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Nope,
Well,
that
that's
will
not
miss.
good.
So you strike it in the side and across the back dorsal fin, making it kind of roar. Kawakami's just thrashing in the water in pain, holding his breath for dear life.
How much can I hold my breath again?
You can hold your breath 1 minute plus your con modifier. Though every time I rule of that, if you're taking damage underwater, you lose half your breath every time you scream.
Huh.
Because it hurts.
But what if he's tough as nails?
Yeah.
Make a con save to not scream.
What if I'm used to being underwater? What if Mint has been waterboarding me for 10 years?
There is a difference between water.
Then you're less scared of the concept of you drowning, but you still scream.
Esmond, you're up.
To enter the melee or not to enter the melee? Fuck it. I will drop my light crossbow into the boat, get my short sword, and I will move with my 50 feet to try and catch up.
Yeah, you can definitely catch up with it even with your 50 feet of movement.
We have these things called boats. Fuck them.
I mean, to be fair, when you get enough, one of your companions gets tossed off the boat, you kind of gotta chase after.
Unless you really don't care about them.
At this point, why are we chasing after?
Just like
because we want him to be a meat shield at last.
His money.
So I want to just get within range. So first short sword attack.
So don't forget to mark your circle down,
Oh yeah.
so you know how deep you are.
I never use this. How deep are we?
The
10 feet.
creature's 20. You need to get at least 10 to hit it because it is a large, or a huge creature. That's the word I'm looking for.
That is the wrong one. Is it? What the fuck?
Ideally, Baka, considering how much movement you have, can you go below the creature? Thank you.
Well, no, he doesn't get that much movement because he's half speed in the water.
I can meet
Oh
it.
yeah, right.
I have 25, so theoretically I can outpace it if it's only moving 20.
At least until Tetsu goes unconscious, then it can move its full speed again because it's not struggling to carry something.
No, because then I can just action dash and then bonus action dash.
I will never go
Alright,
unconscious.
so I'm assuming the 25 hits for 7.
Yes.
Alright.
It's 26, by the way. And the
I will not
unarmed
read.
Unarmed is disadvantage because that is a bludgeoning attack.
Unfortunate, but it's gonna happen. And
That will miss.
yeah, I'll use at least one key point to try once more with vigor. No, but I got
Definitely
two
not.
bad rolls out of the way.
Okay, Quincy, you're up. You've just seen Tetsu get eaten by a fish and dive underwater.
And Chum boys are underwater too.
Everybody's in the water but you, and Mint, who's flying. You're the only one on a boat.
I'm okay with this. Well, at first I was thinking of this, but everyone's target close, so I don't think that'd be smart. So I guess I'll just shoot him with my Eldritch Blast, and I'd say that this one's probably okay, but if they go any deeper, then I wouldn't be able to do, like, much. Because water distortion. Does that sound fair, Heath?
I didn't.
No.
What are you saying?
Can I Eldritch
No,
Blast?
Oh, you can Eldritch Blast from here.
Yeah.
Magic is good for water. It's
that-
mostly blunt weapons
Wait,
that
what kind of damage did Eldritch Blast do again? Force?
Force.
Okay, I was about to say, isn't Eldritch Blast an electrical attack? Or
No.
That'll hit. 7 damage. And for 9 damage.
People just like to describe it as electric because electricity is cool.
So it's between 14 and 7. Well, no, yeah, it's 14 or it's not 14, but it's lower than 7. But it's 17 or lower. There we go.
Okay.
And I don't want to go swimming, so I'll just hang out.
Quincy's got a nice suit on. He doesn't want to get it ruined.
Yeah, no, I've got
Here.
paperwork
Wow.
and shit. I'm good.
Well, me and this creature are about to have a nice grapple check because I want to contest it.
Okay, roll me a strength check to break.
Acrobatics. Wait, isn't it acrobatics versus athletics?
That's if it's just a normal grapple. This is a bike grapple like a crocodile.
Fuck! What the
You're in
hell?
water, so
What the
It's
hell?
a strength check. Or it's a strength or strength saving throw, I guess I'll say.
Okay. Come on.
Okay, you use your action, you bust out of its thing's jaws.
And I am going to swim up,
15 feet.
run away. Okay. So that means that I'm on layer 3
You're on
or
layer
1. Okay. There we go.
Okay, Mint, you're up.
Alright, let's. Oh dear.
continue pelting it.
Don't roll a 1. You got
Precious
this, man.
marker of the
I'm going to assume that I'm above it at this point.
Yeah, you're above it.
Can I shoot a crossbow down to it?
Yes.
Alright, let's try.
That'll hit. For
Plus an
2
extra 3 damage.
plus 5, so 5 damage. Is this radiant bolt just strike it in the back as it kind of roars in the water?
can't wait to see the scene out of Jaws where it just swims up really fast, leaps out of the water, and catches Min out of the air like a fucking annoying bird.
I'm waiting for that to happen, but that's my turn.
And it turns over to Esmond, who is the closest thing to it right now.
Bullshit.
First attack misses as you just kind of swim out of the way, dodging. Second attack hits, though, for a 20 to hit. And gets a good chomp as it does 16 piercing damage on you.
Woo! Ooh.
And grapples you.
Woo!
And it will
Feels
move
good.
and take that extra D8 of damage because it doesn't know any better. It's a dumb beast.
Pew pew. Thunder damage.
So, Nikolai, you may roll your thunder damage of a D8.
1d8 or 2?
1d8.
1d8.
Yeah, your level's 1d8. Six thunder damage, nice. Things starting to look pretty rough.
Is it like bloodied at this point?
Oh, it's well past bloody.
Oh, it's death door?
Not death's door, just pretty rough.
It's in between Death's Door and Bloody.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a good way to
okay.
put it.
I don't want to beat up a dog.
Beat it
and it will
up,
swim
beat it
down
up.
with its new prey. Another 20, which would Nikolai, you get another attack on it as he leaves your combat zone.
Another 6.
No,
Well,
attack. Attack.
Oh no!
Attack.
Oh, sorry, not another booming blade. Whoops,
No.
my bad.
Yeah,
Not
another
a
attack.
booming blade.
And you
just
can't
attack.
booming blade. Yeah, you can't booming blade a opportunity attack. You just do a normal.
I thought you.
Unless you're a warcaster.
You said it's taking another booming blade. Okay.
That's worries. That'll hit for another 3 damage. You just keep rolling these ones on this guy. It'd be so much more damage if you guys didn't keep rolling min on him.
Yeah.
At least we're hitting him.
Yeah, you are, but just chip. There's like been so many ones on him when you hit. It's been getting silly. Okay, Mitsutoshi, you are up.
Spiritual weapon goes 20 foot lower.
Yep.
And goes whack.
That'll hit for 7.
And I'll go 15 feet in this direction. Yep, I should be close enough. I will healing words.
You can't.
Healing word.
Your
Healing word as long as you-
Spiritual
weapon
weapon
is a
is bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Oh fuck! Yeah, right.
Also, you're underwater.
Uh,
How can you say a word?
Yeah. Also, he can breathe water though, so he can say it.
Oh,
I roll that if you can breathe, then you can use your you can speak underwater and get your verbal components out.
So he's just like, attack, weapon, shit, healing word.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not like I'm drowning or anything.
Yeah. Sacred flame, and that's me.
How are you using fire underwater?
It's a radiant fire.
Yeah.
God hurt.
It's God.
Hey, it fails its save, taking a further 6 damage. It's starting to get pretty beat. You guys see blood just start pouring out of this thing. It's really wounded. It's like it's in a fight or flight stage right now.
Fuck that. No, DM, I just realized. Every time you hit me, it drops me to below half.
Well, welcome to the life of the monk, my friend. The glass
This is the life of
cannon
Baka.
the melee drop. Yeah, the melee glass shield. Nikolai, you're up.
Alright, I can't just keep hitting this thing with booming blade, correct?
Technically, you're out of its range. You're out of its range right now.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
it's
so
it's outpacing you with swim speed, and because of your gnomish swim speed, you're kind of out of its reach. So you can start chucking. You can start chucking tridents at it.
actually, yeah, I forgot I can do that. I will want to move a little closer though. How far can I get?
You can get another 10 feet because of your swim speed, so that would get you 4. Which will get you just in range of the normal attack range with the trident.
3 or 4?
You get 4. You're on 4.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to delete it and redo it. You just have to type in 4.
That wasn't working.
Oh, weird. You gotta have your you still have to have your mouse over it though.
Okay. And I will. How do I differentiate between striking with it and
It's the
throwing
exact same roll. You don't differentiate.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we'll
It's
go
still
with
a strength. It's just a D6. It's a one-handed. Yeah.
Yeah, the only difference is one-handed. Oof. That misses you. Toss it down. It goes into the water. And just
Bless.
And
goes
I
off to the
lose-
side.
I lose 1 trident.
I don't. You got a D4.
Oh wait, yeah, you
Bless.
got blessed. Roll your D4. That might make the difference.
3 or 4. 3 may not work for me.
He's allowing it 4 works.
Ah, Trident's gone. You got a spare though.
I did buy 2 of them. I really wish you would have let me carry those 16 spears into this
You
fight.
could have carried 5.
No, I have to go all in. It was either I carry all.
You could have
16 or
technically
no.
had 16 spears in the boat with you. You just can't carry them on your back. 5's the limit. Esmond, you're up. Technically, you would have been better off with javelins anyways if you're going that route.
I've been in this situation before. Not
I mean, I'm gonna be
exactly, but
completely
low
honest.
health.
If
But
I didn't
so
get
is
the
my
chance
enemy.
with my hammer, I would be using it underwater.
That's fair.
I shall go all in.
Making the attack? Okay, make your first attack.
Alright. Short sword.
That hits for 4 damage.
Alright. First unarmed strike, disadvantage.
That
Nope.
misses.
Second strike. Who cares about defense?
That hits for 4 damage. Oh, the
Hey.
minimum hits, they're hurting me so much.
It's one step closer.
This
Chip,
one encounter
Chip,
is turned into a war of attrition.
I know, but you just chip. This thing would be dead if you had rolled the opposite so long ago.
So it's on death's door is what you're saying.
I'm getting close, getting pretty close. You gotta remember, like the maximum damage, your guys have would be another 40 or 50 damage if you did the reverse. That
Using
one
my
will-
inspiration.
Oh. Hey, that hits for 10 damage.
Only Quincy can roll a d10.
It's really getting fucked up now. I mean, honestly, he's not rolling that high. He's just got a +4.
Well, the first one was max, so I'm just taking that to the bank. You know what I'm saying?
I know. You're the
All
only
right,
one who hasn't rolled min on every hit, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm good. Quincy's done.
I rolled decent for my crit, that's about it.
Okay. Go, fighting spirit.
Da-da-na-na-na.
That misses.
17.
17?
Oh wait, no, you're out of it. My bad. You hit. Yep, 17 hits. I'm sorry. I'm thinking you were still in its melee.
Nope. Okay, so that's 6 damage. And that's... Yeah, that's my turn.
It is starting to look incredibly rough right now.
Mint really needs to kill him, or else we may lose Esmond. I'm being honest
You're
with
up.
you.
I told you we'd lose a cook.
I have to go to the water surface to be able to hit him.
Yeah, you'd have to dive down, just tap the water. Yeah, but you can fly down into just above the water.
Alright, I'll fly down, just like having my feet barely touch the water and try to aim a shot at it.
Okay, roll your
I can
attack.
hit.
That'll hit for 8. Oh, it is.
Another 3. Another 3.
Oh,
remember?
11. Oh, it is freaking just barely hanging on. You just see blood spouting out. It's jetting out of its body.
I don't have anything else I can do. I can't. I can't reach him with healing word or anything.
If you're on the water, you can.
Wait a minute.
Right, he's 40 feet down. Yeah, you can reach him with healing word.
Second level healing word.
Favor.
First up, let's get rid of your circles to make sure you know that. Second level healing word.
Woo!
That's 12 HP back to you. Max healing.
I'm almost at max HP.
As it swims, it will take another bite, chomp on you. Nine more damage. Good thing you healed him.
Yay! I got your back.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
He's swinging and screaming, and the creature keeps descending a little further as it will go at least another 20 feet down with its prey.
How much air does Esmond have? What's your con modifier?
2.
So 3 minutes of breath, you've been chomped underwater twice.
So that's...
You got 2 minutes.
He's down to
5
a
more
minute
seconds.
left. Yeah, we'll just say a minute per chomp.
Yeah.
Mitsutoshi, you're up.
Do I risk it for the biscuit, guys? Nah. I'll go 2 additional squares underwater. I forgot how to do that. There we go.
Same,
And
I
I
have no
will.
idea how these tokens work.
I've
Yep,
got it. I'm
and-
doing it for you.
Yeah, I've been watching. I'm like, I'm glad Heath is capable.
And I will also healing word Desmond. And
I'm okay with this.
and Esmond, you can now take an attack.
Hey!
That
16!
just hits.
Or
Oh man,
9.
this thing is literally on death's door.
But I do heal for 5.
You gonna make a dex save, Mitsutoshi?
Yep. I am looking for it. For some reason, I always forget where fucking Sacred Flame is.
Oh my god!
Oh god.
They
Who's in
passed.
it? Oh,
It passed.
Okay.
could still be at 1 for all we know.
Nikolai,
It could,
you're
couldn't
up.
it?
Could be.
All right.
You're gonna have to throw the other trident.
Can I catch up to this thing?
So you
No.
you get another 10 feet down for 6, and you would still have a disadvantage strike because it's barely in range. Unfortunately, you move at half its speed.
Oh god,
Only piercing weapons do well underwater, right?
There's specific weapons like
Technically,
daggers,
once you're technically at disadvantage, you're outside the range, so all your attacks are disadvantaged anyways.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna start throwing my axes at it.
You might as well. It's the same difference.
Fuck it. Let's go.
Disadvantage
Oh wait,
still, but you roll one
disadvantage,
more.
sorry, yeah. I forgot to hit disadvantage. Alright.
So that's a 10. The D4 won't make a difference, so that will miss, unfortunately. The egg flies off into the water.
probably 15.
Esmond!
Sag.
Oh,
Bristle for the
baby!
biscuit, all in! How do you want to do it, Esmond?
I almost commit seppuku on accident!
You snap into his head that's around your stomach, and you're like, "Oh wait, that's close
In
to me."
hindsight, that was a bad idea! Worth it!
As you stab this thing in in the head as it's grappling, you just stab it in its nose until it dies. You see it's right between the eyes. The blood just kind of sprays out of the water as the thing jaw finally slackens from your rather shoot up and bleeding stomach as you start seeing it float to the surface from its as a dead body starts to begin to rise.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Huh? We did it.
I assume Mitsutoshi sees
It's
Esmond
not
almost
a
commit
worthy
seppuku.
battle if I don't come out, shoot out the living shit, requiring major healing
Oh
to
my God. I
survive.
saved you. This is the second time I've saved you.
Esmond's just a heal battery. While you're healing into him, he'll take it all, baby.
I am a fucking tank.
You can fit so many healing words into this guy.
Esmond's secretly a masochist, he can take the
Somebody
pain.
get this man.
Esmond is a drain tank.
I'm too drunk to feel pain.
Okay. And with that, you guys finish off killing the creature. As you look about, what is your plan as you see the floating creature in the water?
Does anyone have rope?
I do.
I will check, but I will probably become a floating creature myself.
I
Yeah,
actually
essentially, what we do is we tie it to both boats. We
Yeah,
get
I
them
have
a
rope.
bit closer than that, and creatures here, and we just drag it to surface.
will this work?
Yep.
And before we come back to the shore and they say, well, that's a nice catch and all, but where's the monster?
Yeah, right.
Got the rope? Yeah, I have 10 pounds of rope.
I have rope as well, so it's completely fine. I assume.
Okay, so you guys.
Celebratory drink!
So we did this, and we also don't have to pay because we didn't damage the boats, supposedly.
It rammed into our boat, so there might be a small pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're looking at like a gold just to kind of debuff it.
Just to give a paint job.
Yeah. And luckily,
God damn it! I have to relacquer it.
Here's the thing.
Now,
The
I
lucky
assume-
thing is because Tetsu fell in the water, it didn't have to start trying to tip a boat to get someone to fall in.
That's our money tank.
I am,
Since you
I
saved
am,
their security deposit.
Guys,
it's all fucking planned.
I
It's
really
a gold
was part of
plan.
the chum boat
Thomas.
because I became the chum.
Yeah, we both became the chum.
I became more chum than you. Half of my body was regenerated.
What are you saying, Tony?
I assume Kawakami's close enough to the surface, but like as Esmond is struggling to get back to the surface, I can grab him and pull him the rest of the
I
way.
am faster than you.
Oh,
Yeah, that
he
is
shoots
true.
past you, man.
I can go over twice your speed.
That is fair, but you
He
you
still
just
has
got
enough. He still has a minute's worth of breath left, so he's not on the verge of dying. Thankfully, one more bite, and then it would have been con saves to see if he could like not fall unconscious afterwards.
It would have been fine.
Sure, roll me a con save just to see. I'm curious.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna regret rolling that con save.
You've used your good roll.
God damn it, E.
To be fair, we're ending for tonight, guys. As you guys return back to the return home.
I shall have I now have something worthy of painting.
As you guys, the big fish story.
Yes, it'll be me stabbing
Again,
a fish.
For Esmond,
Repeatedly.
it's such a good thing that guns don't exist, because he'd just end every battle riddled with bullet holes.
As if being riddled with teeth marks isn't better.
Hey, at least one is kinky, you know?
I mean, the thing is, a monk actually is better off with ranged attacks because they can catch those.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
hands.
You guys,
The way I went is I can
row
I'm
up-
versatile.
so you guys row back into base as the hunter guild looks like, good job, you caught the beast. That's amazing. Well, here's your pay, and he will give out the 900 gold to split between the 6 of you.
Pain!
How do we split it?
Probably divided by 6.
Wait, so
Well-
it's 900? I thought it was 800.
Or 800, you're right, 800 for that one.
900
No, it's
divided by
900.
6.
No, it's 900.
900, yeah.
It's 900.
900, yeah.
150 for each person.
What? It's 133 for each person.
150, it's 900, Jordan.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
900?
It's totally 900. Even though Heath said 800 when we picked up the quest, it's totally 900. Don't worry about it.
Used to
Hey,
do
hey,
math.
hey, Eric, do you want 100 gold less on your share?
For the sake of easy math, they'll give you a bonus because I will say you earn the extra gold because I know Ares is going to cook it up as a meal that they'll sell. So there you
That
go.
and we were very speedious in
How
it.
much money do we get?
It's 150 each.
150 each.
150 each?
Question: Can I appear to own a boat? Can I sell that?
Sure, for
You
25
fucking-
gold.
Wait. No. Tell him he goes up to the shop and the guy goes, no refund, sorry.
Pretty much. Well, you can buy it back, but it's going to be at 25 because I'm going to buy a used boat for full price.
No, that's quite fine.
But no, you don't get it. We just used this boat to kill a sea monster. If you
It's a legendary boat now.
It's a named vessel now.
Yeah,
It's the Kraken Slayer.
it's the fucking Kraken sword. Like, now when you open up its stats menu, it
No,
actually has some bonuses against beasts.
Kawakami failed his save. It's called the Slippery Elf.
The slippery elf. God.
No, the thing is, that's the chum boat.
I want to head off now.
Oh yeah, there's
Good night.
Good
Yeah,
night,
good
Eric.
Good night.
And with that, we will end it there. Ares left before I was about to say something.
Level?
Ha!